Gaming news today is all about the unexpected. First, according to an insider, the next Xbox hardware has been greenlit, but what does that mean for timing and announcements? Second, Lost Soul aside, one of the first China Hero Project games from PlayStation is apparently region locked, and it isn't clear why. We're going to look into what is taking place there. Third, Doom the Dark Ages has made an interesting choice with world design, but it actually should be a pleasant surprise. Fourth, a highly anticipated game coming this year is going to let your friend play with you for free, and for the first time ever, it will be cross-play in that movement. Now, I always end with a game for your wish list and your radar as well. So if you like this content, if you're here all week, I appreciate you supporting the channel. Here at Reforge Gaming, we kind of walk through a very quick news show open, and then we do a live discussion. If you would like to support this channel directly and get into segments like Morning Coffee and the Green Room, you can pick Member Plus. It's $6 a month, and you get into basically the second half of this channel. As always, if you're watching live or even watching later, make sure you hit that like button. It certainly helps out the stream. So, what's going on with the next Xbox? Well, we've been hearing a lot of speculation and rumors about when the next Xbox will land with respect to hardware. There were rumors that we would be seeing a next-gen console actually drop next year in 2026. And then there were rumors about a handheld and a hybrid console, all sorts of different versions of what the potential future hardware could be. Well, according to one Xbox insider, things are moving forward with whatever the next hardware is. Windows Central's Jez Corden said the following, quote, "I've recently been told that Xbox's next-gen console hardware has now moved past its early pitch stages and has been fully approved and costed all the way up the chain. I doubt we'll see a reveal of their hardware strategy anytime soon." Now, lots of questions obviously remain about this. Is this a handheld? Is this actually another console? Is it going to be a two-tier console like Series S and X? Is it a PC hybrid? Is it some kind of combination of all of this? Now, my own thoughts recently were put into a video about transparency with Xbox. If you want to check out that video on the channel, it's there. It's kind of combing over a lot of what Phil has said recently, and I basically don't trust or bank on anything they're saying about future hardware. Phil continues to say contradictory things, and there is historical precedent for that to mean that something is changing in the background. In other words, when Phil starts saying things in one interview and saying something different in another, it typically is signaling that something is changing in the background and he's not being clear, and it's on purpose. Whatever is coming could move from approval to production, and who knows, maybe actually show up in late 2026 like everybody was saying. That seems really fast to go from, hey, they just costed it up the chain, to go into full production and distribution in 2026, but you never know. Microsoft can throw money around rather quickly. They just ended the Surface, so maybe they'll have some production lines that get freed up. Now, another strange thing that was unexpected in the gaming news is this is just after the PlayStation State of Play, where we finally got some more gameplay and a release date for The Lost Soul Aside, which is a China Hero Project published game from PlayStation. And they continue to confound and confuse the gaming public with bringing games to PC. Helldivers 2 is still region locked in many regions, and that's that there is no more a PSN login there, okay, but it's still region locked in a lot of regions. Spider-Man 2 is region locked as well, and there is no PSN requirement. So they made the PSN requirement optional, but the region lock is still in place. Now, some of the Helldivers regions opened up, but we never really got an explanation as to why that happened. Now, that makes the situation with Lost Soul Aside even stranger. This is not a PlayStation studio. This is not PlayStation IP. This is a first-party publishing effort from the China Hero Project. So this game is going to land on PlayStation and PC day and date because that is their goal and their effort to break into the Chinese market. This was recently outlined by Yoshida in an interview with Colin Moriarty. Now, pulling from Game Rant on this report, it says here, based on metrics from SteamDB, there are 133 countries that Lost Soul Aside will be unavailable to play in. Now, currently, there's no explanation from Steam or PlayStation as to why this is happening with yet another game. So, this is a bit of a bummer, and hopefully we can get some type of an explanation, because right now, we don't have one. Now, Another thing I saw in the news headlines that was really unexpected, that Doom the Dark Ages is going to be somewhat open world, which sounds crazy, but listen to what they had to say. According to a new interview, Doom the Dark Ages will feature some of the largest areas that id Software has ever made. Games Radar reported the following. Talking to Edge Magazine, latest issue on sale now, game director Hugo Martin says recreating the greatest moments in classic Doom requires a certain amount of space. If we're talking about, quote, circle strafing around huge spaces as you're delivering gunfire to demons, specifically, and such, Doom the Dark Ages features, quote, the largest spaces we've ever made. Now, they go on to report that Martin goes on to explain that levels will be, quote, sandbox-like in design. Think of open areas ripe for exploration and stuffed with grand battles that invite exploration rather than something linear. The benefit being that you can spend time hunting secrets and resources if you'd like, or you can just move things along. Now, this actually sounds like a great step, even, I think, fitting for the aesthetic and the almost medieval settings, right? You're sort of anticipating larger landscapes, maybe even like sloping grassy hills and maybe almost like mountainous areas because it's in a more medieval setting. But they were very thoughtful, according to this interview. They didn't want to make the areas too large. Martin went on to say that, I don't know that you would play a single Doom level for 2 hours, he said. You want them to be nice, contained experiences, so around an hour is the sweet spot. But if you're a completionist, you could certainly extend that. So he's saying they don't want you in an area for too long. They don't want you like clearing an area for like 2 hours, maybe an hour. But that's pretty significant. That means these areas are very, very big. And you get an idea of what I was talking about with it being a more medieval setting, being almost more like mountainous and somewhat open world. When you see this first sort of swooping camera motion here, you can see these areas that we're going to be in are going to be quite larger and a little bit more open than, traditionally with Doom. And again, this isn't an open world game, but it's going to feel somewhat open world in these areas because you can go and explore and find all this stuff. Now, I have to admit, this actually makes me more excited for Doom the Dark Ages. It was already at near the top of my anticipated games list, and it might have squeaked just a little bit higher. Now, another piece of news that hit, and very quickly I'm just going to move through this. I didn't grab a trailer for this one. I wish I would have. I forgot to. Split Fiction. This is from the makers of the previous Game of the Year winner, It Takes Two. This is from Hazelight. They're bringing another co-op game to the market very soon called Split Fiction. This is one of my highly anticipated games this year. They're going to make it even easier for you to play with a friend this time around. Now, they've done this in the past. It's called the Friend Pass, and you can play with another person and they don't have to buy it. But this time, the Friend Pass will be fully cross-platform. You can invite a friend from any platform to fully play through the game with you, and it's totally free for them. The game releases on March the 6th, so be sure that your co-op buddy knows that only one of you actually have to buy the game. I would say, if you can, buy it. Support these devs. They do great work. They're a great presence in the gaming market. And if you haven't played It Takes Two, you have plenty of time between now and when Split Fiction comes out. Supporting this game, I think, is a good idea. I'm going to be playing this multiple playthroughs with my kiddos, my wife, and even here on this channel, you'll get to see some of that with my wife and Hilly if you are a paying member or a gifted member. That's a great reason to be here as often as you possibly can, right? Now, very, very end here, I always try to give you a game for your wish list and your radar. This one came across my table yesterday, and I have to show it to you. If you were here for the live show yesterday, you got to see this. Samurai Pizza Cat's Blast from the Past. Okay, this is clearly inspired by Saturday morning cartoons and Cuphead. It looks really, really fun, like a very fun take on the genre. This was an announcement trailer that currently this game is in development for all platforms. So this is just an announcement trailer, but you can see how the little towns with the top down and then the platforming and then the fighting and the almost like really, really adorable cartoonish feel, you can very much feel that Cuphead is still influencing the market to this day. So add that to your wish list. You can actually wish list it right now on Steam. You can't wish list anywhere else, but it is coming to all platforms. Samurai Pizza Cat's Blast from the Past. Great name. You really only have to remember Samurai Pizza Cats, which that should be pretty easy to remember. It's a great name. So just a really quick recap. Gaming news came to a bit of a slowdown at the end of the week here, but an insider claiming that the next Xbox has been greenlit and is moving along. Second, Lost Soul Aside has been region locked with no explanation. Doom the Dark Ages is going to be not open world, but have very large open areas that might feel somewhat open world in some of the largest areas id Software has ever designed. And a highly anticipated game, Split Fiction's coming this year. Your friend can play for free just like last time with It Takes Two, but this time the Friend Pass will be fully cross-play. That's the news. Now it's time for the discussion. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you guys so much for spending your week with me. Be sure to smash that like button. Get us to that first 100 likes. I've been trying to make those show opens a little bit faster. That took about 10 minutes. We've been trying to shorten those as best we can. And Joker Quinn, Han shot first, and so did you, getting us a little bit closer to that weekly goal at 500 members. This week, Madam will continue her journey in Kingdom Come Deliverance. You guys have been really enjoying that playthrough of hers. The first game, I may move her to the second game. I don't know. You guys were really enjoying the first game, but good golly, it'll take a long time, and I'm always nervous about that PC acting up. Don't really have to worry about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 acting up on my PS5 Pro. I haven't had any issues there. But make sure you guys remember that stream with Madam will be tomorrow. It'll be a Saturday evening stream instead of a Friday. I know more people can actually come when we do them on Saturdays, so that's actually kind of a bank error in your favor. Mango says, lying knowing facts. Like when he said Xbox outselling PlayStation is obviously not banning accounts. Later, some of them used that as an excuse. That's what they were told. We've been trying to navigate how to handle that. I don't know if you guys, were paying attention yesterday, but I think there's a distinctive difference between getting in mudslinging fights with, court jesters on YouTube that don't really deal in serious content. They're just sort of out here being nasty and rage farming and everything else. I think there's a difference between that and calling out outlets that posture as legitimate, like IGN, and calling them out for either falsehood or false claims, as I did yesterday with an individual. I was like, listen, if you're going to be out here claiming that you're distributing gaming news, if you misrepresent, misquote, or say something that's false, well, that's not what we should be doing in this space. It's not difficult to just accurately report things. It isn't. So everyone it's a small clip and a long interview. We didn't know what he said before or after the clip. That's why I hate clips. Well, the clip was pretty clear, though. The clip was very obvious. Yoshida was speaking specifically to the Chinese market. He was specifically saying it's an entire thought. It's not like a thought ripped from context. That's people that don't understand what ripped from context means. It's an entire thought. Yoshida gets to complete his entire thought. He goes from saying these are the two biggest PC markets, and then he looks at a specific market. He says China. He specifies them and says that console doesn't have a big footprint there, and in order to grow in that market, PC is crucial. Well, the console market's not small in the U.S. He was clearly not talking about the U.S. He was talking about China. Like, the clip in question, he is speaking specifically to PlayStation's strategy in China, and you can see that with the China Hero project. I've been saying this for weeks, so all Yoshida did was say something that corroborated something that I've been saying for a while. It's that if you're going to make it in that market, you need to be on PC. They probably approached these studios wanting to get that footprint, wanting to get that growth in the Chinese market, and these developers were like, listen, we're developing for PC. Like, we can't ignore PC. That audience is enormous here, and they probably said, no, that's totally fine. We're happy to do that. We're happy to fund these efforts and get people in a market that we currently don't have a presence in. We want them aware of our efforts, of our brands, of our publishing. So it's very, very clear. And see, this is one of the reasons why I've been consistently saying, listen, if you want to analyze what a company's doing to then make predictions about what they're going to do in the future, you have to be more nuanced than, oh, well, they did this once, they're going to just keep doing it, or they're going to do it everywhere. It's like, well, you need to know what was the particular reason why they did it. Like right now, we know the particular reasons why PlayStation's making efforts in China and why they're publishing these games day and date on PC. They're not first-party pieces of property. They're not first-party studios. It's a first-party publishing effort. Another thing that came from the Yoshida interview was that they look at first party, second party, and third party as three different categories that are important to their future. And so you've got to know what you're talking about. Are we talking about a second party, a first party? Are we talking about, even within first party, there's studios that are owned, IP that is owned, and then there's publishing efforts. There's like three. So an example would be studio and IP owned, that's God of War, right? Don't own the studio, but you own the IP. That's Helldivers. And then you have first-party publishing efforts. That's Lost Soul Aside or Death Stranding 2. So even within the term first-party, you have three different categories that something can fall into and be considered by PlayStation as this is a first-party game. And this is why the incessant cries and complaints and criticisms of, oh, where are the first-party games at these events? PlayStation's probably sitting there thinking, well, Yote, Death Stranding 2, Lost Soul Aside, Sorrows. Like, these are all first-party efforts from us. What do you mean? Then they have second-party efforts. Then they have third-party efforts. They're trying to check every box, and I think that's something that we always lose in these discussions because everybody hyper-fixated on, well, it's the studios. What about the studio? It's first-party, first-party, first-party. And it's like, I mean, even Phil Spencer agrees with that definition. He was quoted as saying, yeah, if we publish it, it's first party. I'm paraphrasing. That's essentially what he said. So PlayStation views it the same way. They're like, do we own the studio? Do we own the property? Or are we the one publishing the game? If any of the answers to those questions is yes, then PlayStation considers it first party. I don't think PlayStation has this obsession with, well, that doesn't count, or, well, that's not the same. I don't think they think about, well, all that matters is we have to get our first-party studios out there. They don't look at it that way. Yoshida made that very, very clear. Cat Uncle with the renewal. Thank you so much. Happy Friday. Let's get that line moving. Reforge, give it up. Give what up? What are you wanting me to give up? Right now, all I'm doing is speaking facts. I haven't spoken a single thing that's opinion. If those facts are upsetting for you, that's a you problem. I'm literally speaking in facts. I haven't said anything that isn't factual. This all came directly from Yoshida, who used to work at the company. And he's like, this is what PlayStation looks at. This is how they categorize these games. Xbox sucks. PlayStation sucks. Switch to Master Race. Okay. Have a good time. Frank Glass with the Member Plus. Thank you so much for renewing your Member Plus. He gets us to 405. We're 20 away from the next milestone. We'll see, Frank, if you set it up for a 20 bomb. Make sure you guys are smashing the like button. Thanks for being here on this Friday morning with us. This is why when directors present to me their KPIs, I tell them, you give me the numbers first. And then if I need a reason to why we aren't hitting them, then you provide. It's not the other way around. Thank you so much, Frank, for also gifting a member. He renews and he gifts. That's the way to do it. Thank you so much. 406 members on the week. Very, very kind. Good to see you in the chat feed. Guys, today's a good day for a member train. Feed is here, and we've been trying to get him back in the member pool for a while now. And Famous Frosty upgrades to Member Plus. Upgrades count as 2. Let's get a big upgrade train going this morning. We have been trying so hard to hit Member Plus and above at 600 total people, and Famous Frosty just jumped in to that bucket. Thank you very much. Stonespire says, what we're talking about is what happened yesterday, and this guy covering the clip and taking it out of context. Lono called him out on it, and he got personal. Yeah, we're to the point where I renewed yesterday along with the message, but it was skipped over. Oh, I'll just add it. I didn't see it, Dan. I don't remember. I wouldn't have done that. 409. Let me see if I can click on your name. And can I see? Does it put renewal messages? No, it doesn't put renewal messages in your chat log. Sorry. DCG and Reforge are two pro Sony content creators, and no matter what, they still have the same persona. Love it. I'm nothing like, I don't think I'm anything like that, and I don't consider myself pro Sony. I've been heavily critical of them and have called certain things that they've done stupid. I just reported this morning about how they still haven't fixed the region lock problem. Lost Soul aside is region locked, and no one knows why. Spider-Man 2 is region locked. Helldivers 2 is still region locked. That's not a pro Sony thing. That's negative. That looks bad. It looks like, what's going on over there? No one knows. You're bringing games to PC, and they're just mysteriously region locked. I don't defend that. I don't go pro Sony on that stuff. I'm critical of that. That's terrible. The way they've handled their presence on PC has been very, very poor, in my opinion. Salty Gamer with 32 months and a VIP, thank you so much. Puts me at 410. We're at 410 on the week. Thank you so much for doing that. Oops. That would be amazing, right? 4,010. He was talking about the PC market being big in China and consoles not being as strong. PlayStation releasing older games on PC in China would be like printing money. Right. The particulars of the conversation was, that's a market you're going to see. Essentially what Yoshida was trying to do is give us a glimpse into why PlayStation's going to treat that market differently. Right? And Demetrius jumps in as a brand new member plus. And if it's a brand new member plus or VIP, I also count that as 2. Thank you so much, Demetrius, for choosing to support the channel directly. A lot of people have been doing that lately, and I greatly appreciate it. We are not a big channel, okay? And I do this full time, and it's because of y'all, right? We are sponsored by you. Right? I'm not beholden to a brand. I don't defend and hold up brands as if they're flawless. I will probably never get treated well. How critical I've been of PlayStation, I'll probably never get PlayStation codes. I already get denied Xbox codes because of how critical I've been of them, and that's fine. That's fine. When you, the viewer, empower somebody to just speak their mind, I don't have to worry about being beholden to brands, unlike the gaming press's consistent problems as of late, where they consistently say things and spin things because they seem to be beholden to Microsoft to a significant degree. The only thing I use my PC for these days is music editing. I find it harder and harder to even think about picking up a controller these days. I mean, I think people go through phases where they just don't game, right? MTO with 24 months says, these two gentlemen try to rock the beehive, but they get stung by the Reforge roasters. Say no to hate. This community goes to town. You guys, if you ever go to bat for me on Twitter, just stick to the facts. Just stick to the facts. I did not attack anybody yesterday, no matter how many times you clip me and false frame me and describe the clips, because you know nobody watches the clips. That's the big game that they play. I didn't attack anybody yesterday. I simply pointed out where what somebody said was factually incorrect. It's that simple. If pointing out where you're factually incorrect is attacking, then, I mean, we've done that to IGN how many times? When they misquoted Sony's earnings call, when they said the PS5 sales were plummeting. Like, sorry. If you stick to being accurate and factual, then you won't get called out for being inaccurate and factual. And IGN got community noted when they did that. It's like, because you lie. Like, that's what's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? That's what's supposed to happen. I honestly just don't have a desire to game on PC. I tried once and just wasn't impressed. If you play the right game on the right rig, PC gaming is awesome. It just depends, right? What you played, you know, it depends on, I don't know. It depends on your personality and your preferences. I just don't ever want to come into this office to game. I don't. Like, to sit down here at this desk and to game, I just don't have any desire for that. I don't. It's just not something I want to do. I would much rather be on my couch, comfy on my couch. And a single gifted from Sneaky Wolf. Thank you so much. Sneaky bumps the line to 414. Thank you, sir. We're trundling along today. And I tell you what we need. We need 200 likes. If you guys haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Hook it up to your TV then? No, I don't want to do that. I would much rather game on a console. You do that. You do that if that's what you want to do. I don't want to. I can't stand doing that. gotta go up to the keyboard or have a Bluetooth keyboard and a place to put it. No, I'm good, dude. I don't want that. I would much rather just hit a button on a controller and be gaming. And then I gotta have a cable strung across or buy a Bluetooth dongle. I'm good. Yeah. Hopefully the Bluetooth dongle doesn't have any latency or any delay or any problems. No thanks. No thank you. Yeah, Zubair's been pasting this many, many times in all caps. You know, some people don't want to play on PC, you know. I have done that. I have both big picture, makes it like a console. More power to you. I just have zero desire to do that, you know. You're moving to PC gaming, you got your rig ordered. A lot of folks have done that. You know what I mean? Are you gaming on a PC from 1990? I have had multiple computers, the one over there, this one, and the streaming rig before it, and anytime I try to use the internal Bluetooth, it just won't pair with stuff. It just won't pair. I could never, ever, on both rigs, I could never get these to pair. It just wouldn't see them. And I was like, and I just get fed up. I'm like, well, just plug it in. I don't have time for this. You go to the thing, it looks for devices, doesn't find it. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to troubleshoot this. It just doesn't see it. Like, I give up. That's typically what I do. If something like that doesn't work and and the solution is just plug it in, I'll just plug it in. I'm like, that's fine. I'm done troubleshooting this. It's just Bluetooth. I don't need to do this. Did you plug in the antenna to your Bluetooth card? What do you mean? No, it's internal. It works. I've had them pair fine with other devices. I just could never get them to pair with my Bose for whatever reason. It would 100% would find other devices. I had it finding other devices. The Bluetooth was working. Bluetooth is janky AF, always has been. It wasn't designed to do the things it's being asked to do. It never works well in my car. It's always like messing up in my car. Like it'll grab the wrong device. There's an external antenna 9 out of 10 times. I mean, I'm here to tell you, none of these came with that. So, I don't know. Maybe, because the last two were the last streaming rig was a pre-built, and that one back there is one that was made for me. I don't know. Maybe they didn't include it or something. I have no idea. There's a huge metal cases around your Bluetooth card. I don't remember ever getting anything like that. I got a box of cables, and the cables were usually for, like, the RGB stuff. I never had an antenna given to me. DK Bager, thank you so much for gifting a member, and that goes to 415. Thank you so much. Everything you're saying is literally why I go into my living room, and I go like this. That's it. That's what I do. That's it. It's like one motion. It's like, whoop, whoop. I'm in. Just that. This is it. This is what's required of me for entertainment. It's not like, okay, go to settings. Okay, open up Bluetooth. Okay, scan for device. Okay, scan for devices. No, scan again. Oh, no, make sure it's in paired. Okay, yeah, make sure it's paired. Okay, make sure your antenna's out. Make sure that's plugged in. Make sure your drivers are updated. Do that. Yeah, no. Oh, no. This is a new game. You're going to have to go to the command line and type in dash enable vsync. Yeah, you're going to have to do that. Yeah, we don't know why. We don't. Yeah, no. No, that's not working. No, yeah. And on my PlayStation, I'm like, I just do this. The other guy's over there like, you got to go in here and you got to change the settings. You got no, that I'm like, okay, you keep doing that. Lono's acting like you have to hook up new controllers each time. Let me have my bit. Let me have my little bit, my little skit, okay? I'm just goofing. I'm obviously being hyperbolic, you know. Did you update your drivers? I'm having a problem. If frames skipping or tearing, did you update your drivers? Reforge Gaming is artificially bumping his sub numbers. He counts upgrades as 2 memberships. He counts new VIP or plus as 2 memberships. For the guy that's all about facts and credibility, openly boosting your numbers is not ethically sound. Let me respond to you openly in the public, the Turk, since you famously thought that you could get monthly active users from concurrent stream charts, because that's the level of intelligence that you operate at. This going up faster makes me pay money earlier. You literal dolt. This number, I could type whatever I want in there, right? I could go in there right now and type Mickey Mouse is my dad. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's not factually correct. Hey, Mickey Mouse isn't his dad. If I boost this quicker, that's me being generous. If I say, hey, you renewed your membership, I'm going to count that as 2. That speeds up the rate at which I spend my own money. See, like I said, the Turk, you're so bad at math that you thought you could get monthly active users from Steam concurrent player charts because you don't understand what a concurrent player number is, and you don't understand how this works either. So now that you have metaphorically had a bat swung at your face, maybe go back to community college and take a basic arithmetic class. You want to call out my integrity and my ethics? I willingly give more money to the stream in this community at a faster rate when someone chooses to upgrade. Man, he's bad at math. You want to call out my integrity and character, son? That'll get you right back on the canvas where you belong. Sit the frick down, Turk. A 10 bomb from Cardock Ren, a VIP from Cardock Ren, and a VIP from Eugene. That takes us to 27. Here, I'll do something for you, Turk. You want it? Here, I'll do something for you, Turk. You want me to do something for you? There we go. We were at 1,427 subs. We're at 1,427 subs. You want me to do something for you, son? I'll do something for you, son. I'll drop 50 members on my stream right now. Hey guys, you just hit a crazy goal. You went crazy. You were super generous. Here's 50 members. This is my money. I'm spending my money. Turk, can you get out your calculator, Turk? We just set a record, and I'm celebrating with the 50 bomb. All right, I got to thank some people. Jack Garland with a $5 super chat. Great job. Now, don't you dare erase that. $10 super chat from Mile High. $5 super chat from P-Dub H-Town. Joker Quinn gifted a member. And Pro Nader with 16 months. Congratulations, brother. Thank you so much. You guys that hate watch and clip and come in here every day and do this, you are so starving. You are so starving for like a gotcha that you quite literally use my generosity as like a weapon. Like, do you understand? You can't win. You're so starving. You're so desperate. It's embarrassing. The derangement that some of you guys have. It's just crazy. It's crazy behavior. Uzi with 18 months. Hex with a gifted. Thank you so much. That takes us... Oh, I forgot to add Joker Quins. That puts us at 430. We're 20 away from the 450. You guys really don't like facts. You really don't like seeing your daddies corrected on Twitter. It really rustles their jimmies. They really don't like it. It really upsets them, right? Your champions, your paper champions and your false saviors out here getting eviscerated with facts, and it just really upsets you. We're talking about gaming, bro. Brytech with a member plus and a gifted from Pronator. Thank you. That puts us at 432. Today I learned that Lono is Mickey's son. Mickey Mouse is my dad. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I was like, here we go again with this guy that couldn't operate a calculator, like misunderstanding what this goal is. Thank you, Tony the Pony, for 4 months of Member Plus. And Destiny accused you of sending people to attack. I never send anybody to attack. I've always been 100% against that. I've never done that. Like, that's... The funny thing is it's like he has once again displayed his complete inability to do basic arithmetic and math. Like, good golly, man. What's crazy is I bet he's the smart one in his friend group. He and that bunch of chimps must get into so much trouble. Next time Lono calls him short, he's going to go, yeah, but I'm taller than my dad. Oh, next time somebody calls me short. That's right. That's right. I think people just take discussion in games too seriously, says Mash. I play mostly on Xbox, and I don't like the direction that they went in, but it doesn't stop me gaming there this gen. I'll just likely shift next gen. A $5 super chat from Sneaky Wolf says, now we know why Lono is so short. He's his dad's a mouse. There it is. Oh, I forgot to set the super chat goal. Hang on. Here's something else for you to add up. Get your calculator ready, Turk. You ready? I will gift a member. I'll gift a member every 5 super chats. I take the money that people give me through super chats and I give it back to somebody else. And a 20 bomb from MASH gets us to 453. Thank you so much, MASH. I owe you guys 10 members. Well, I already did the 50. I'm so fed up. I'm fed up with these clowns and these liars. They're exhausting. Your war against truth will be one of loss. You will lose. You will lose. You better believe it. I've been doing this for a long time. Liars always lose. Always. Just a matter of time. DTM with 38 months. Thank you so much. Mike Apex, you didn't get one? You typically get one. 454. There we go. He said that you sent people to attack while he was posting to an X account that just attacks you. The irony. The irony of people that have a falling out with me and then that's what they do. I think people display their character very, very easily. If we have a falling out, or if I correct you, or we have a bit of a spat, and you run into the arms of people who hurl hate and harassment at me every day, well, now I know the kind of person that you are. Thanks for telling the world. I didn't have to. Gifted member from Petrov. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. We are now 20 away from 475. Exactly 20 away. Guys, don't let MASH have all the fun. Somebody else step in and do it. You know what I mean? New member goal. Lono wears Mickey Mouse ears. No. No. Let me break down Lono's tactics in terms you can understand. Remember when the dealer gave you your first hit of crack for free? Omar's like, basically what Reforge is doing, what Lono is doing is he's basically a drug dealer. He's not unethical. He's basically a drug dealer, okay? Oh my gosh. I don't have a lot of money. What car should I buy? A plane? I just see categorical differences between, IGN, people that work for IGN, people that are going to posture as, they're not a journalist, but let's just say gaming press. I think that's generic enough, right? If you're going to posture and position yourself as gaming press, I'm going to treat you a whole lot differently than I do somebody who's sort of like grifting on YouTube and putting hyperbolic things in their thumbnails and like putting like shocked faces, or, they're putting me on the thumb, like making me look stupid. These are two different categories. I have zero intention to ever engage with like the grifting nonsense. You know what I mean? Now I'll speak to it. I'll say, oh, the grifters were calling Kingdom Come Deliverance too woke, and they're all conveniently ignoring how successful it was, right? So now they're wailing on Avowed because Avowed was woke and it didn't have crazy commercial success, so they're deeming it a failure and a flop, right? I'll speak to it, but I'll never directly engage with any of those people. I don't think it's worth my time. But if you posture and you position yourself as gaming press, if you're interviewing Phil Spencer, buddy, you're in a different category. And I got no problem pulling up a tweet, maybe a video, I don't know, but probably for now just articles and tweets, and being like, this is not accurate, this is not true. I don't have any problem doing that. I don't. You want to know why? There are a ton of people in the gaming world that are tired of your BS. That's why. And I'm here to take them. I'm here to take them from you. That's what I'm here for. If I can give a place where the conversation isn't sullied with that crap, and it's more based on accuracy, facts, and evidence, if I can do that, I'm going to take all those people from you. Because they're tired of the shenanigans. The gaming community, they might not chime in on the tweets. They might not retweet. They might not hit the heart button. But they're watching. They're watching. And they're seeing what you do. They're seeing what you say. And when you get corrected, and that's your response, the public takes notice. So, go ahead. If that's how you want to handle your stuff, go ahead and handle your stuff that way. The public will move on. They've shown this in other fields. They've shown this in other mediums and other media, places. You start doing that long enough and you'll just lose your people because they get tired of the shenanigans. They get tired of it. A $5 super chat tip from Joker Quinn. No matter what, through all the BS, we stand with Lone and the Truth. Thank you, Joker Quinn. I appreciate that. Lono's wrestling voice destroys at another insane level. What do you mean my wrestling voice? Brian31 says, that's facts. That's why I started watching the show. Check your emails. I've been chosen as tribute. What'd you get, Evidence? You've been invited to help playtest the PlayStation 5 console system software public beta. Oh, like you're going to get updates earlier? I can't do stuff like that. Yeah, I can't do stuff like that. I don't want it to, if something comes out and breaks something or causes glitches or bugs, like I can't have my PlayStation acting squirrely. I don't want to beta test new features like that. Guillermo says, back to gaming, Lono. Did you watch the Kind of Funny Greg interview with Matt Piscatella? Great info on how companies are really fighting over about 10% of gaming community that buys 6 games a year. Oh, yeah. I mean, the interesting thing about that as well, Guillermo, is when you look at the statistics of like the households that spend the most in gaming, I've been trying to tell people this. I pulled up a PlayStation commercial the other day with like the Portal and the kid from Stranger Things. I mean, he's not really a kid anymore, but he's a kid to me. You know, it had the kid from Stranger Things in it. And I said, does this commercial seem like they're appealing to, you know, luxury people who have money, or are they appealing to people who are like on a shoestring budget? No offense to you if you're on a shoestring budget. We've all been there, okay? I've been there. We've all been there. And when they make a commercial like that, they're not targeting somebody who's like, I only put a half a tank of gas in this week because I wanted to buy groceries. They're not targeting you. Now, your life situation could change. You suddenly get a full-time job. You suddenly get a promotion. Things start looking up for you. And then you see that commercial and you think, I've got some extra money. I'm going to buy that. You see, if you look at like the market and who they're targeting and who they're trying to get to buy things, a lot of the conversations about that's anti-consumer, that's too expensive, and all of that, the general, you know, gaming public and the target audience that spends money in gaming, they don't think like that. They do not think like that. That's why, again, if you posture as gaming press, I'm going to call you out if you say something nonsensical. Ryan McCaffrey of IGN, his advice, I had to call it out today. I was like, this is terrible advice. It truly doesn't make any sense. It truly does not make any sense. Okay? I will not insult this person, right? I will not insult this person. I will only speak in facts, right? You're in the public. You're making public claims. Let's analyze this claim. Let's just analyze it, okay? He says, if you can only afford one console, make it a gaming PC. Now, I said this morning, there are layers to how dumb this is. Layers. I'm not saying that he is dumb. I'm saying the statement itself is dumb. This is like an onion. Because you start peeling layers on this, and you're like, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Read the first part of the sentence very slowly. If you can only afford one console, this means you're speaking to somebody who can only spend somewhere between $200 to $500 probably. And you're telling them to get a gaming PC. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. The average gaming PC, if you're going to put it together and you want it to be decent, you're going to spend over $1,000. You are. Now, you could PC part pick and bargain hunt and maybe get it below that. Generally, after taxes, especially right now, maybe you don't have the monitor, you don't have the setup, the keyboard, the mouse, all that. You're going to land at $1,000 or more. Most people who are looking into getting a gaming PC are not going to want to skimp to that degree. They're probably going to spend closer to $1,500. They're going to walk into a Best Buy or a Target. They're going to buy something in the $1,500 range. And then your taxes are going to hit. And again, you still might be in a scenario where you need a monitor. You need a keyboard. Anything like that, right? Again, the first part of his sentence. If you can only afford one console. What? Okay. The advice is terrible. Like, this is terrible advice. So I just did basic math. You could buy a Series X, a digital PS5, and we're approximately, we're thinking the Switch 2's $400, right? That's why I put the tilde there, okay? So listen. All three of the consoles are $1,350. Now, you could argue you don't even really need the Series X anymore because they're bringing all their games to PlayStation. So you could save this $500 and just bump this up to $700 and get the Pro. You could spend $1,200 and you could have the strongest console on the market, the Pro, and you could have the Switch 2, and you're still less than what you'd probably on average spend on a gaming PC. So yeah, you could spend, $1,500 to get the gaming PC, but then you're not going to get any of the Nintendo Switch 2 games. You got to wait on the PlayStation games. Do you see? It's like all of a sudden everybody's saying, "Oh, PC's the way to go. PC's the way to go." And it's like, yes, for some people, You guys will notice that when you guys come in here and talk to me, I say, for some of you, switching to PC makes the most sense. I have not once said, oh, you should just get a PlayStation. You should just get a PlayStation. I consistently tell people, yeah, the PC might be the right choice for you. It depends on your budget. It depends on your desires. See what I'm doing? I'm being nuanced. I'm being measured. I'm not cheering for one side or the other. I'm just saying it depends on you. It depends on your budget. It depends on your needs. Hang on, I missed somebody's renewal. Force of Will with 19 months. Just adding to the member count. Thanks for the 19 months of great content. Thank you so much. That takes us to 456. Guys, as a reminder, if we hit this goal, Madam's going to continue her Kingdom Come Deliverance gameplay, but that'll be tomorrow. It won't be tonight. It's nice not needing to pay for online. Right, exactly, Jake. Everybody's different, though. He's addressing people who can only afford one console, and it's like, I cannot imagine that you're sitting across the table from your friend, and your friend says, I don't have a lot of money right now. I want to get into gaming. I can only afford one console. What should I do? And you say what this gentleman has said. Oh, you should get a gaming PC. Even your friend with a little bit of information would probably be like, are you dumb? I just told you that I don't have that much money. I just told you that I can only afford one console. Why did you just tell me to buy a gaming PC? That your friend would think that you were not an authority on the subject. He'd be like, I thought you were really big into gaming. You don't seem to know anything. I would tell my friend to buy a factory refurbished PS5. Yeah, you can get a factory refurbished PS5 for what? What's the price of those? Not very much. Isn't it like 300 or something? I don't know the price. You'll have to tell me. A VIP from Mitch, 39 months. Hi, keep doing you. Facts as always. Thank you, Mitch. Air Dry More with 30 months and a member plus. Watching Samurai Pizza Cats with my son. Now we just need a Pirates of Dark Water and King Arthur game. Thank you so much. That takes us to 458. And then I got a super chat to thank, a $10 from Wired Rope. Watch last 2 minutes of J2 Cents 5070 Ti review. He says GPUs are too expensive. Doesn't see why people wouldn't go buy the Pro. His channel's built on PCs. Also, he says that PC is a rich person's hobby. Thank you, Wired Rope, for referencing JZ2 Cents video. And then a 5-bomb comes in from Vegas Band and bumps the member count to 63. 463. Thank you so much. Mash says, some people like me just prefer the console experience and the familiarity with it all the way back to the Atari 2600 days. Day by day, though, consoles are getting closer to PCs in offering. He should have said something like, if you can afford all the consoles, just think about getting a gaming PC instead. Yeah, that's actually a sensible thing to say, but even that has to have nuance. Yo, Ryan jumps in as a brand new member. I forgot to say this. Guys, if you are going to pick up and pay for your own membership, you want to pick Member Plus. So, Ryan, try it out for a month. If you like it and you want to upgrade to Member Plus, I count that as 2 in the total, okay? And then you get into the Green Room. The Green Room is an end-of-the-day segment every day behind the scenes. Right now at $5, I can't tell the difference between you and a gifted member. YouTube doesn't let me do that. I hate that I have to do this, but it's just the way that we have it set up. So if you decide that you like it here and you want to bump up, the Member Plus, it's only $1 more, but then I can put you in a different bank and give you more content. You can get a good PC at the price of the Pro if you want. No. Even Linus admitted that it's not really possible, Chris. No. He had to cut corners, buy used, even Linus said, you really cannot put together a PC to match the Pro for $700. You can't. PC is not a rich person's hobby. That's a dumb take. Sorry. Why is it a dumb take? The peripherals are expensive, Paul. What sector of the market do you think can afford to spend what it takes to buy brand new cards, brand new anything? If you're getting into PC gaming, it is 100%. It is 100% an expensive hobby. Gaming in general is not, I would not consider it to be a rich person's hobby, but it certainly is the upper threshold of the income bracket hobby. Gaming is expensive, brother. There are people who game on a budget, but if you're out here gaming, you're gaming. You got a big TV, you got multiple controllers, you're buying all the games when they come out. Buddy, you probably make a pretty good amount of money. J2 Cents did a video on it. I think he got down to around 850, and that was after finding some crazy deals and buying used. Right, you're cutting so many corners when you do that. Because if you're going to say, oh no, I can do it, but then you got to go buy used and look for crazy deals, well, then buy it. Imagine what you can get. Can you buy Reforge Pros yet? If you could go buy a PS5 Pro used from your friend for, $600 or something because he doesn't want it there anymore. Like, if you're going to go buy crazy deals, that would be like me saying, oh, no, all these PC videos are invalid. Why? Oh, I found a crazy deal on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, I found a PS5 Pro for $300. That's not demonstrative of the market. Like, that's not what you can anybody can go out and do that. Finding crazy deals and, like, buying used parts, it's like, that's not demonstrative of the market. Like, that's not something that the average consumer can go and do. Glad to be a member, says Ryan. Keep up the good work fighting the false narratives with facts. I appreciate that, Ryan. And a 5-bomb comes in from Willie Kale and gets us to 471. Thank you so much. Chris Davies says, I said 800 pounds, the cost of a Pro of me. You can get a good PC for that money. And then on Steam, games cost less and no online fee. That's what I did for years until I upgraded. There is a long list of people that know way more about PCs than me, and they're all saying the same thing. You can't really do it. You cannot really build a PC equal to the Pro for the price of the Pro. It's not really possible. They've got to cut corners. They've got to find crazy deals. They've got to buy used. A lot of the times, they're not even putting the same size hard drive in. Sorry, the same size SSD. They're doing 1 terabyte as opposed to 2. Listen, it's okay to admit that. Like, there's no threat to you or anybody to just admit, if you want to build a PC that is equal to what the Pro can do, you're easily touching 1,000. You're easily getting there. It's not difficult. After you buy all of the parts, you get your SSD, you get your memory, you get your GPU, your CPU, all of it. Like, come on, man. The average PC gamer is the guy buying his machine at Best Buy. If you're building your own, you're in a small minority. That's the other thing. That's the other thing is it's like the average person that you're talking about is going to strut into Best Buy. You're going to strut into Best Buy. Yeah, I said hard. I corrected myself on hard drive, Zubair. I could hear you. I could hear you. It's like, it's not hard drive, old man. This is why I want to kind of cut through all of this, right? This is not a situation with a simple reductionist answer. Every consumer is different. Every consumer has different preferences, budgets, and ideas about what's best. That's why I always say it depends on the person. You could extract way more value out of a PC than me. You could spend $2,200 on the same PC I did, and you could extract so much value out of it for gaming. And I spent $1,400 to get 2 Pros, and I've gotten so much more value out of it than you would. Do you see? I didn't get scammed, and you didn't overpay. We're different consumers with different preferences and different ideas about what the best thing is. Do you notice the difference between me and the other guys? I am making space for you to make a to make a decision that's best for you. I'm making room for that. I'm like, yeah, no, if PC's best for you, do that. I've had people leave comments. They're like, I'm leaving Xbox and going to PC. I'm like, you know what? A lot of people are doing that. It's a good choice. It really is. I've said many times that I think the best setup right now is either a PC and the Switch 2 or the PS5 Pro and the Switch 2. I think that's the best setup. I think those are 2 very good buckets to land in. Those are 2 great buckets to land in. If you're happy to wait for the PlayStation games, with the exception of a few ports, they've been very, very good. And Switch 2, I mean, I, as a Nintendo guy, I just can't not have that in my house. Like, that's to me, that's the default. Like, stop even trying to compare your console to PC. It's stupid. One is a toy, the other is a workstation. I would imagine that a lot of PC guys don't consider their PC a workstation. They consider it a toy. They love it. They put colorful lights in it, and they play video games on it. There are plenty of PC gamers that are probably like, homie, I spent $3,000 in. This is my toy. This is a really shiny toy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might not even use it as a workstation. They use it as a toy. You're creating like a false dichotomy. Your games are made on PC, it's a workstation. Okay, games are made on PC and then they run them on a dev kit. You understand that the work environments for developing a game have nothing to do with like the game itself, right? Like if they're building a game for the PS5, they're using, yes, the tools, the engine, all of that's all. They all operate on the PC, and then they slide it over. They ship it over to the dev kit, run it on the dev kit, which is a console. So, like, that would be like pointing at an airplane and being like, well, they designed the airplane in a PC, so, yeah, that's basically a PC. What? Like, yeah, they use their architecture programs to design this building on a PC. So when you're standing in a building downtown, you're standing in a PC. What? Like, just because you build it on a PC doesn't mean anything. That's where software operates on PCs. Yep. Yeah, come on, man. Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we saying here, brother? Things can be more than one thing. That's what I mean. What did, you have no boundaries when you own a PC? What? So a PC and a PlayStation owner are playing the exact same game. One is playing on a toy and the other isn't. That's what I'm saying, Jack. There are people that have invested a lot of money in their PC and they would be like, no, it's not a workstation. This is my toy. You know what I mean? Have you seen some of these setups people have for their PCs? Like, listen, I'm not a PC guy, but dude, you can get a really sexy setup. They got the lights, they got like the desk, they can motorize the desk and make it go up and down, and you know, the lights are in sync, and now the cases have like displays on them, so they put like their waifu on there because it's the only woman that'll talk to them, and so they're really, really cool. And I mean, they'll it's a toy to them. Exactly, a workstation. See, the problem with your position here, your position here, Dirty, is that whatever anybody says, you take it as the affirmative of your position. So you're not really having a dialogue. You've got this like predetermined conclusion that you've come to, and it's like you're telling somebody else that they're wrong about how they view something. They're like, no, I've invested thousands of dollars in this. This is a toy. I only play games on this. This is a toy. And you're like, it's a workstation. And they're like, no, it's not. It's a toy to me. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get to dictate how someone views their thing that they bought. You could buy a TV and use it as like a workstation for, I don't know, CAD drawing or, you know, architectural work, and be like, well, it's not really a TV, it's a workstation. No, it's a TV. It's only ever a TV. It's like, why does it matter to you? Yo, Guillermo upgraded to Member Plus, and that gets us to 473. Thank you so much. What's a console then, if not a gaming system, i.e. toy? No, I don't think you're necessarily understanding what we're pushing against, Dirty. I don't think you're understanding. B. Carter is legit with 19 months. Yesterday, towards the end of the stream, you made some comments that really spoke to your character, your real character, to be continued on a super chat. Oh, well, thank you. I don't think anybody's taking issue with you saying that a console is a toy, right? I think you're basically saying that a PC can only ever be a workstation. That's what people are taking issue with. As a consumer, if I spend $5,000 on the best PC I can get, and I only play video games on it, that to me, that's a toy. That's a very expensive toy. Let's take it into another environment. Drones, okay? My father-in-law is really loving it. I got a friend who's really loving it. They are toys. And then there are people that use drones as like a tool. They're going to scope out. My friend is an arborist, and he works in like the government, the portion of the government. I think it's called like the DNC or something. And they basically check the trees and the wildlife. And they're using drones now to look for, people growing weed, or they're looking for infestations of certain bugs, things like that. So for one person, a drone is a toy, and another person, a drone is a tool. You're treating PC that way. It's like a PC could be a toy for one man and a tool to another, or a workstation to another. A $5 super chat tip from Street Shadow. Question for the super PC crowd. Why do you care so much what console players want to do? Also, do I need to explain game dev to people? Oh, gosh. You can try, Street Shadow. You can try. That's why it's unfair to compare them. Why are we against consoles? People that play mobile games and claim themselves as gamers are a different type. To me, already legal in NY. You can grow it. You probably have to get like a permit, don't you? If you want to grow it. You just want to like start growing it in your backyard. Time to move, boys. To me, I think, and this is what I just want to continue to do. I want to continue to model this. I want to continue to make space for this. If you're an Xbox refugee, if you're a longtime Sony pony, if you're a PC master race, you're welcome here. I want you here. I want to know what you do. I want to know what you like. Right? Yeah, okay, so here's what Zubair has to say to you. Okay? So, Zubair says, this is a toy. Like, this is his toy. Dadgum cables light up. You know what I'm saying? His dadgum cables light up. Like, his CPU is a puking gnome. A rainbow puking gnome. Like, I mean, you see? Like, why not just make space for others? The degree to which you make space for others, that will be returned to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you make space for other people to game or to spend money in the way that they want, that gets returned right back to you. It's like then you are given tons of space here to hang out and express your opinion. Yeah, that PC is super DEI, dude. A lot of rainbows going on there. You know what I mean? That PC has pronouns. Easy E with a $10 super chat says, Nvidia just ruined the GPU market. You can't build a decent PC for $1,300. Read my comments for your favorite PC part reviewer. They're calling PC gaming a rich man's hobby, and most are considering buying a Pro. Guillermo with 15 months of Member Plus. Everybody should check out the Greg interview with Matt Piscatella yesterday. Great info and facts in the gaming industry. Highly recommend. Thank you very much. I already counted you in the total. Thank you, Guillermo. That was funny. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will admit, when I stand next to it too long, I start Zubair has a banana for breakfast, and he has to do it outside of his office because he's like, I'm not taking any risks here. Okay, that's just I'm not taking any risks, boys. I like women. Oh, that was good. That was a good tack on joke. That's excellent. Oh, man. $20 from B. Carter is legit. He says, it really warmed my heart over the past year and a half to see how passionate you really are and how generous you are with your community. I really appreciate the fact-based opinions you distribute, a high-quality show daily. B. Carter, I really take that to heart, right? I get very defensive when my integrity and my ethics and morals get called into question. It's why I had to absolutely body the Turk. It's like, don't you dare do that, especially when you're inverting my generosity into some kind of a scam. And it's been a long road, man. I mean, we moved this show. A lot of y'all don't know. I've been doing this for 10 years. We've only been on this channel for 3.5. This September, it'll be 4 years. We've been on this channel for about 3.5 years. And it was like scary because you go from single game coverage to variety coverage, and it can go bad. It can go poorly. So you guys supporting it means a lot. Matt with a $5 super chat says, I have 2 laptops, a desktop, a PS5 Pro, a Series X, Nintendo 2DS XL, a Switch, and a whole bunch of guns. They're all toys. Thank you so much for making it rain, Confetto. I'm going to reset the super chat goal. Every 5 super chats, I gift a member back, and Raphael McCoy gifts a member. I'm going to gift a member, and we together are going to make it get to 475. We are now 25 members away from the goal. Thank you so much. Every 5 super chats, I give back to y'all from that amount of money. You guys are giving to me, and I give back to the community. Thank you very much. Weren't we just at 1427? Yeah, they'll clip that, Zubair, and say, Reforge Gaming takes members away from his goal to scam people. I said this morning in Morning Coffee, okay? There are people that will take anything that you do and try to interpret it as a negative, right? When everything happened to me in 2020, when I defended myself, they interpreted it as a negative. When I tried to be nice about it or apologize to do the right thing, they interpreted it as a negative. When people view you as the villain, everything you do is villainous. It's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. I could sit here and say nothing and be like, yeah, he's scamming his viewers. He's going radio silent. He won't give them any content. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to get over that in this space. You do. You just have to be like, you know what? No matter what I say or do, people are going to try to interpret it as villainous. I'm trusting people with, medium to high levels of intelligence and good discernment to come and watch the content for themselves. If you're going to make up your mind about me, on Twitter from clips, you probably wouldn't like my content anyway, right? If that's how you make your judgment of a person, I'm never going to go win that person over to my side. I trust good thinking individuals, smart people to show up here and watch the content for themselves. And we've had numerous people do that, and they're like, this is actually a great place to hang out. I'm just going to trust that. I'm going to trust the quality of the work. I'm going to trust the values that we hold to when we cover something, and that's what we're going to do. We're just going to continue to do that. People who bash on a platform, says Mr. Cheese, it sounds like the whole the trash calls is worthless. Say no point of getting it would be a PC game. Huh? Hang on. The people who bash on a platform the most, like, hold the trash calls, it's worthless saying there's no point of getting it, would be PC gamers instead of some console warrior on Reddit. Ghost in the Garage Gaming says, the notion that gaming is supposed to be affordable is always laughable. It's an expensive hobby. Somehow it's turned into this idea that it should be accessible to everyone. Yeah, I need merch that says I need merch that says anti-consumer is a misnomer or something like that. Like, there's, like, anti-consumer is a myth. Like, that's a myth. There's no such thing as anti-consumer. There isn't. The things that the companies do, they're all motivated the same way. If somebody's convinced you that they're pro-consumer, then you're a sucker. I mean that. You're a sucker. Like, they've got you. They tricked you. There's no such thing as pro-consumer. They're pro-profit. They've convinced you that they're pro-consumer, and guess what? You're willingly giving them your money and your loyalty, and they won. They won. You didn't win anything. You're giving them money. That's what they wanted. They tricked you. That's what's funny, is the people that throw around this like, oh, that's anti-consumer and I'm this and that and the third. It's like, you're the most asleep as a consumer if you think that's real. Like, you're living in a deluded, sleepy state if you think the companies that you support are pro-consumer. Like, a lot of these guys will talk about you should put the games everywhere. That's pro-consumer and they're PC gamers. Let me ask you something. Do you think Nvidia is pro-consumer? Do you think they're pro-consumer? What about AMD? Are they pro-consumer? Is Steam pro-consumer? Now, you could say that Steam has practices that are more protective of the consumer. I think that's a fair thing to say. Like, you can do refunds and get your money back. That's protective of the consumer. But they're still doing that with the goal of you staying loyal to them as a storefront. It's the same reason that Amazon does it. You can argue that, like, Amazon's pro-consumer. Amazon will let you refund and return things very easily. That's protective of you as a consumer, but it's laced with, we're going to get you to always come back to us because they want your money. They want their pro-profit. So consumer forward initiatives where they're trying to ingratiate you with loyalty is motivated by profit. Exactly. There's no such thing as pro-consumer, says Ghost in the Garage Gaming. If you believe that, then you, my friend, fell for the extremely good marketing. That's exactly right. I disagree, Lono. Free donut day at Dunkin' is very pro-consumer. I appreciate it very much, as well as my little ones. But it's not pro-consumer. It's pro-profit. You going in that day is part of the plan. Guess what you're going to do? Guess what your kids are going to do? If you're ever craving a donut, who are you going to think of first? That's called top of mind marketing. They want their brand to be at the top of your mind when you think of donuts. You might go in and buy a coffee. They wouldn't have got that coffee sale otherwise. It's why Best Buy would do loss leads on albums. They would sell a brand new album at a loss. Why? It wasn't pro-consumer. They weren't like, well, we really want people to be able to buy the latest album from Creed or Nickelback at a discount because we're pro-consumer. No. Once you're in the store, the likelihood of you buying something else goes way up. Oh, you need cables? Oh, you need a new CD player? Oh, you need a new this? You need some headphones? And then they got these crazy margins because the headphones cost them $5 and they're selling them to you for $30. None of that's pro-consumer. It's all pro getting your money. PlayStation's sending out some very strange emails. Have you guys seen this? This is really weird. So some people are getting into the beta, and some people are getting this message here. Congratulations. Congratulations, Xbox better. That's great. That's good. That's good. And a 5 bomb of members comes in from Josh and gets us to 480. How many of you guys did I get with that? Did you think I was going to throw you a real thing? Eugene says the idea of pro-consumer is based around the idea of being nice to the consumer. It has nothing to do with being nice. Right. Got me? I got you? Because I have OCD and I spent much of my time doing it, please look at the back of your PC and tell me if you see this. And a 20 bomb from MASH! He perfectly lands the 500 member plane. Thank you very much. Look at the back of your PC and see if that's there. They look like little coax cables. Hang on. Yeah, this one does. Now, I've not tried to do Bluetooth with this one, Omar. I've not tried. The last one I just gave up. Yeah, this one does. They gave me a Wi-Fi antenna. They gave me that. I obviously am not using it. I don't think they gave me a Bluetooth one. Or is it an all-in-one? Is the Wi-Fi antenna also for Bluetooth? I don't know. My last PC, I swear to you, they didn't send me one. Now, my last PC was from Micro Center, and I got it 6 years ago. So it's possible that they did and I lost it. I don't know. That was 6 years ago. I couldn't tell you. That Micro Center PC was not ancient, but like it was old in the grand scheme of things. Same frequencies, put on the antennas. I haven't tried to set up Bluetooth on this. I was talking about my old PC. I got that thing in like 2019. I don't think they sent me one. I swear to you, I don't think they do. I had a box with cables in it, and it was literally just that baggie of cables. There was no antenna. Now, again, That was back in 2019. That was back in my old house. I don't know. Maybe they did and I just didn't see it. It's very possible that I was just really excited to set it up and I missed it somehow. I don't know. I work in a game dev pub. Pro consumer is never used. We want to make players happy. We want to put them to buy on our platform. The strategy is, what can we do to keep them with us while making money? They did. I saw you pick them up. Oh, this one maybe. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that I just set to the side with this one. I have not tried to do Bluetooth on this one because the experience I had the last 2 times I tried to do it, I just couldn't get it to work and I just gave up. And again, you're like, well, you need the antennas. It was finding other devices right here. That's what confused me. It was like, it didn't say anything about like weak signal or make sure your antenna's plugged in. It was literally finding other devices in my home. That's why I got confused. I was like, I don't know. I can't find my headphones. Which, funny enough, I wouldn't want it to now, because now when I wear headphones, I want to be able to hear myself through the mic monitoring, and I wouldn't be able to do that through Bluetooth. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that because then you guys would hear it. There's no way. I don't think there's a way to do that. I'd probably have to look into software or something. It's just easier to have a cable. Avowed is so fun. How many hours have you put in, Brett? There's people in our community, they have put in a lot of hours into Avowed. There are people that are really digging it. Guys, really quickly, if you haven't done so already, double check this. YouTube's been a little squirrely lately. Smash that like button. Get us to 300 likes. Get us to 300 likes. Appreciate that. $1,200 PC can't play Nintendo games. Yeah, you can't play Nintendo games. What do you mean? You think a good gaming PC can play Nintendo games? You won't be able to play Switch 2 games legally. I'm speaking to the average consumer, not folks willing to pirate games. Yeah, I'm not speaking to the power of the device. Oh my gosh, these people, I swear if you ever did an MRI on them, you would think that you found the missing link of evolution. Like, homie, your skull is thick. I'm not talking about the power of the PC. I'm talking about the fact that you could go buy a really strong PC right now and you ain't playing Switch 2 games on it. Or you could pirate them. I'm talking about the average consumer. Do you think when Ryan McCaffrey made his tweet, he was advocating for spending that money to get a PC and then pirating Nintendo Switch games? Do you honestly think that's what he was doing? Holy mackerel. Played Tears of the Kingdom at 4K 60? Right. I'm not speaking to the power of the device and saying this device wouldn't be able to play a Nintendo game. Holy crap. Do you think I don't know that you can play Nintendo games on your PC? Jiminy Christmas, these people are thick. They're as thick as grandma's oatmeal, dude. I'm telling you what. Emulation is 100% legal. Oh, sure. Go ahead and go make a YouTube video showing how to do it. Go show people how to steal and emulate games that they didn't buy. Go for it. See what Nintendo thinks of that. Go ahead. Oh no, I can play any game for free now that I have stolen my PC from Micro Center and I pirated all my games. You can dump your own ROMs of the games you own. We all know people aren't doing that. We're not talking about emulating games that you own. That's not what we're talking about. You can watch Mutahar dump ROMs. It is legal. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who pirate the Nintendo games. If you don't buy a Switch 2 and you don't buy that new Mario Kart and you download some ROM, some emulated version of it for your PC, that's piracy, that's theft. You are stealing. Move the goalpost? I'm not moving the goalpost. Do you understand the original thread that you're even commentating on, homie? I don't think you do. You do not understand what room you're stepping into. This is what we're talking about. Ryan McCaffrey said, if you can only afford one console, make it a gaming PC. And I'm like, yo, if you add up all the money, that doesn't make any sense. And then Wapzilla chimed in and said, it'll cost this much. You could subtract the Series X, blah, blah, blah. And I said this, exactly. PS5 Pro and a Switch 2 would be about $1,200. A good gaming PC for that much can't play Nintendo games and has to wait for PlayStation ports. It's just a terrible advice. You cannot play Nintendo games on that PC legally. You can't. You're not going to be able to go and play Nintendo Switch 2 games on that thing legally. You're going to have to go and pirate them. We're talking about the average consumer being given advice by the chief editor of IGN. I'm not talking about somebody who's going to go steal Switch 2 games. Dear Lord. You guys live in this crazy, teeny, tiny, microscopic bubble of the consumer base, and you think what you do is normative. Like, well, I pirate all of the Nintendo games. What? Okay. Go to court and fight emulation then? I'm not talking about emulation and dumping ROMs. In that conversation, when I invoked the Switch 2 and said that the PC wouldn't be able to play those games, that's what I was saying. The context defines what I'm saying, not your random injection of, well, actually, you can dump emulation ROMs. So what you could do is you could go buy all the games legally, and then you could dump them, and then you could play them. You know in that conversation what I'm saying. In that conversation, telling John Q. Public Consumer to go buy a PC, that they will not be able to play Nintendo games. They're not going to be able to do it. They could maybe figure it out, but the average consumer is not going to be able to do that. They're going to have to go through all that, watch a video, figure out how to do it, dump the ROMs, blah, blah, blah. So it can be done, you just said it. There is not a marketplace for the average consumer to just go and buy a Nintendo game on their PC. Within the context of what I'm saying, we're talking about telling consumers, hey, you can only afford one console. You should buy a gaming PC. And you're going to come in and you're going to like, actually, bro, straighten your glasses at me and be like, you can dump ROMs. Like, the John Q. Public's not going to do that. They're buying something to play games on, not jump through the hoops of like, okay, so I've got to legally do this. So I've got to go buy the game, and then I have to go through the ROM dumping process. Within the context of what I was saying, you know what I'm saying. You're giving advice to John Q. Public, and you're going to hand them an instruction manual afterwards and be like, well, here's how you're going to play the Nintendo games. And I don't know. I'm not in this world. How long is it going to take support to be available? So, like, let's say the day Switch 2 Mario Kart drops. Are you able to just immediately play it on your PC, or do you have to wait? Do you have to wait for like the emulators and stuff to catch up and update, or can you do it like right away? I'm assuming there's got to be a window of time before you can just do that. Food costs nothing. You just have to steal it. The number of people who legally emulate Nintendo Switch games is smaller than the number of people who bought Concord. Stop it. People sound crazy. Zubair says, oh no, it takes a minute. Everything has to be reverse engineered. Precisely my point. You can buy a Switch 2 day of and get it. Can be done though? Okay, here's the mistake you're making. You're jumping into a conversation about topic A and you're trying to inject topic Z. The topic of the conversation was not, can you emulate Nintendo games on a PC? The topic was, you're giving advice to a consumer who can only afford one console, and you're telling them to spend the amount of money that would enable them to buy all of the consoles. So the advice makes no sense. You could buy a PS5 Pro, a Nintendo Switch 2, and only spend $1,200. And guess what? They don't have to go through any of the crap you're talking about. They go to the store, or they go to the digital store on the device, and they download the latest Zelda. They download the latest Mario Kart, and they're good to go. And you're like, well, if they wait, they can play the Nintendo games on their PC. Like, to me, it's miraculous how narrow-minded the people who claim to be like open platform and like, oh, we're all about open. You're so narrow-minded. You think your little microscopic club on these channels that like emulate Nintendo games, you think that's demonstrative of the market, like that's what consumers are going to do. You can get a PC and play PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Epic, and GOG games for less than a Pro. No, you can't. You're never going to buy a PC for less than a Pro that plays games at the fidelity of the Pro. That's false. Every single tech outlet with even a shred of dignity and accuracy has demolished that narrative. Like, it has demolished that narrative. The real sticky with the... that's an Agent of Chaos. Oh, I can't think of a stretch goal. 501. What have we been doing for stretch goals in Kingdom Come Deliverance? I can't remember. My wife will play it. We got to think of one. It makes sense. People buy one platform, such as a PC, buy console games, and dump them. I've dumped my PS3 and Nintendo games. It's quite simple. Okay, Borderline Banana, you keep leaving the conversation, though. Listen to the conversation starting point. The chief editor of IGN said, if you can only afford one console, okay, that's somebody who probably has about $400 or $500 to spend. You're not that person. You sound like you have a nice PC that you've invested in and you're tech savvy, so you can do the ROM dumping and you've got everything all in one spot. You are not the person who can only afford one console. The context of the discussion is somebody who's like, I can only afford one console, what should I do? And you're telling them, well, you can spend roughly or more than it would cost to buy a PS5 Pro and a Switch 2, and then you can do all these other things and you can get all the Nintendo games. And it's like, the person who can only afford one console, that's terrible advice for them. You're telling them to, number one, you're telling them to spend 3 times as much as they probably have to spend, and then you're wanting them to ROM Nintendo games. Like, do you understand? Like, that's terrible advice. You're not giving good advice to that person. I wasn't saying factually you can't do that. I know that you can play Nintendo games on PC. I know that you can. I've seen it done. I tried to do it. I wanted to play Breath of the Wild co-op, and it was terrible. PC is far superior. It's crazy to try to even tell someone to get a console. No, what's crazy is to be in here constantly acting as if your choices are superior and other people are making bad decisions. Why do you care so much? It's such an insecure, boyish posture. You sound like an insecure little boy. You sound like a boy. Like, it's like there are so many people in the world who don't think and act like you, and you're so threatened by consumers choosing to spend money different than you that you use like hyperbolic language or like really defensive language. That you just sound like a little boy. Somebody secure in their purchases and their choices are going to say, you can do whatever you want. You seem to care, you sound butthurt. No, see, now you're projecting. You came in and have done nothing today but like cheer for and simp for your choices. And we keep saying, and I keep saying, why not make room for other people and their other choices? Why not say, hey, if that's what you want to do, if that's what's best for you? You don't seem to be able to do that, which is a clear sign of insecurity. You guys don't seem to understand that you self-report on yourself. You're spending time, effort, and energy disparaging the consumer choices of others. You're self-reporting that you're an insecure man. Like, you know what I mean? I could psych profile you for crying out loud. If this was like Law and Order. You know what I mean? I could be like mid-30s, terrible diet, terrible sleep habits, probably watches too much hentai, and really obsessed with telling people they should buy a PC. It's like it's the same pattern every time. I just said PCs are not like consoles. Stop comparing as consoles will always look weak. No, they won't. No. To be factual, I feel so attacked now. I'm sorry if any of you caught strays on that. I'm sorry if any of you guys caught strays on that. Listen, right now, factually, you could spend, as a consumer, $700 on the PS5 Pro, and it outperforms the vast majority of gaming rigs in the market. That is an objective fact. That is not opinion. Go to the tech outlets, go to the reviews, go to the breakdowns, go to the actual hardware reports from Steam. And what you're saying is factually untrue. If you buy a PS5 Pro right now for $700, it is absolutely stronger and will perform better than a significant portion of the PC gaming audience. Now, the PC Master Race guys, they will never acknowledge this. They always act like that's not true, or they'll gloss over it and they'll claim that a PS5 Pro is a scam, it sucks, the PSSR flopped, okay? They're liars. They cannot acknowledge the truth because they don't deal in truth, they deal in ideology. You have to get to the point where you can tell the difference between somebody who's giving you an ideology and someone who's just giving you the facts. Like, I have no problem saying, oh yeah, you could spend that much money and it would be stronger. Yeah, and that would be a perfectly fine choice. If you want to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, I don't care. If you want to spend it on a PC, man, that's totally fine. You can do that. But I'm not going to be dishonest and mislead people and say, oh yeah, the Pro 700, yeah, you could totally buy a PC for that much and it would be just as strong. That's false. That's untrue. What happens here is you don't care about what's true. If you cared about what's true, you wouldn't consistently say things that are false. You're not a warrior for truth. You're a warrior for a side. You're drunk on ideology. You are. You're wrong. Everyone has 4090s and 5090s who plays on PC. Everyone, apparently. Right, Ghost? I was getting a 50 series, but those are poo, so I'm waiting on a 60 series. And you can do that and extract more value out of it than I could. I would not extract a lot of value from doing that. I wouldn't. We're different consumers. I'm going to extract more value out of a PS5 Pro than you would. I will. I already have. Do you see? Like, take it another way. Let's say that you really, really like vinyl and you spend a ton of money on this record player and these speakers, and you get everything set up pristinely, and it costs you a lot of money, okay? You're going to extract a ton of value out of that. I could spend the same amount of money, buy the same equipment, and put on a vinyl and be like, I'm not going to extract the same amount of value out of it. And you could get really, really big and be some audiophile and be like, no, see, but yeah, you're using these cables and those headphones and you're listening through Spotify, and when you stream it, and the bit rate and the compression and the sound quality, you just not. And I'd be like, I don't really care. Do you see? Extraction of value out of something is dependent upon the person and what they want and what their preferences are. So yeah, you can extract way more value out of a PC than I could. I make space for that. Do you see how, like, I'm making space for you to do what you want? And I'm not saying blank check, like, this is superior, you're making a bad choice, like you just did moments ago. You're like, oh, this is always superior. No, it's not. I'm saying emulation doesn't equal piracy, or the courts would rule so. You can easily emulate on a cheap Steam Deck. Listen, you keep trying to have a conversation that nobody's having. You jumped in midstream, Borderline. Like, we were on here talking on Twitter with this topic of, like, what should consumers do if they can only afford one console? You're coming in and you're adding, like, calculus, complex calculus to a basic arithmetic problem. It was a basic arithmetic problem of like, if you're in this bracket and this is what you're trying to do, the advice here is terrible. You're not making Ryan McCaffrey's advice any better by adding in the complexity of, well, legally you can emulate and there are guides and you can do this and dump ROM and you have to be okay with waiting because when the games first come out for the Switch 2, they're not going to be ready yet. Like, that has nothing to do with the conversation that we were having. Nothing at all. I don't care that you can do all that because I speak to the average consumer. I'm talking to the people that are like, they're probably just going to buy console. They're probably just going to buy a pre-built rig. They're not going to think about all this stuff. I have a question for Borderline. I have a 9-to-5 job, a wife, and 3 kids. I want them to have the easiest and simplest way to play PS5 and Switch games with simply a setup. What do I do? Just be a thief, bro. Yeah, I would imagine that the average person... This guy says, so now the issue is legally. Keep changing the goal. Love to see it. In fact, I love even more seeing you descend to a... Like, what? The average consumer doesn't give a frying F about 99% of what you and I spew. Yeah, I'm just going to mute you because you're just hurling insults. I'll never see what you say ever again. Just feed my impressions with your insults. Like, Emily Christmas. For every one person that emulates, there are 99 more people out there that don't. If we're talking about consumers, by definition, that's only people that buy stuff. Well, and that's what people would say. They would say, well, you can go watch this guide and you can emulate legally. You buy the game as a consumer and then you emulate it legally. Again, that has nothing to do with the conversation that we were having. To tell the person who's like, I can only afford one console, and you're like, all right, here's what you do. Here's what you do. You're going to spend, $1,400, $1,500 on a gaming rig, okay? And then the second thing you're going to do is you're going to watch these guide videos on how to emulate, all right? And then you're going to go to the store and you're going to buy these Switch 2 games. Now, you're going to have to wait. The support's not always there right away, so you're not going to be able to play Mario Kart like right when it comes out. You're going to have to wait, okay? Once you can emulate it, once you can ROM dump it, hopefully there's no glitches or bugs or any problems that need to be smoothed out. Now you're ready to go. Oh, yeah, and then you can play on Steam. Oh, by the way, on Steam, you're going to have to wait for the PlayStation ports. Hopefully they're not bad like the Spider-Man 2 port. Now, listen, I know you said you could only afford one console, but this is what I think you should do. Like, it's nonsensical. You sound like an insane person. It's like, this is somebody who says, I can only really buy one console, and you're basically telling them to spend the amount of money that could get them all of the consoles and avoid all of that stuff that you just walked them through. Like, do you see? We're talking about the original impetus of the conversation is, if you can only afford this, and you're saying, spend this much money. The minute you're willing to spend this much money, I can avoid all that emulation, all that ROM dumping, and I can just buy myself a PS5 Pro and a Nintendo Switch 2, and I don't got to do any of that. I don't got to do any of that. And I probably spent less money than you will if you're going that route. You can game on a 1440 PC. Not all PC gamers are on 4K, so you can get a GPU for a couple £100. You're not engaging in the discussion. The advice was somebody who can only afford one console. Brother, that means they don't have anything, and they're looking to buy something to game on. So they would have to buy everything, not just the GPU. You guys keep imagining that the market is you and they already have a rig that they can just like put stuff into. We're picturing a consumer with nothing. Maybe they're on old gen or something and they're looking at getting into this gen and they're being told, oh, the best thing for you to do is to buy a gaming PC. What the frick? Like, You can only afford one console, so buy something that's going to be around $1,000? The advice is insane. You're not making the advice better by complicating it with, well, you can buy Nintendo Switch 2 games and emulate them legally once it's supported by the emulators. Like, what? Like, nobody's going to do that unless they're in your hemisphere of intelligence. Like, you know how it all works. You know how it all works. The average consumer is not going to go to the great lengths that you've gone to do all this stuff. They're just not. To you, it's simple. To them, it's not. It's like learning an instrument. It becomes simplistic to you, but the average person is going to sit behind a drum set or a set of piano keys, and they're like, I can't do any of this. This is too complex. And you're like, oh no, it's simple. Well, yes, it's simple because you've done it. People pay for convenience. They're not going to jump through hoops for emulation. Yeah, like, you're trying to be right about something that we weren't discussing that. If we were having a discussion about if money's not an option and you're willing to learn the tricks of, like, emulation, you can make a PC that can basically do everything. Yeah? You can make a PC that can basically do everything. That's a different conversation, though. That's a conversation where, like, money is not a problem. You can spend as much as you want, and you're willing to learn. You're, like, willing to figure out all these tools and these programs, and, you know, trying to emulate. Like, that's a different conversation than the one that we were having. You're trying to, like, inject into the conversation something that completely doesn't apply. I think people underestimate how technologically daft most people are and how even something that is simple actually isn't. But if money is not a problem, why wouldn't I buy a top-end gaming PC and all of the consoles? Right, that's another thing, MASH. There are people where money's not a problem and they have a great PC and they have the PS5 and they'll buy a Switch 2. I guarantee you there are people with really nice PCs, this is really going to blow your mind, and they're going to buy the Switch 2 because they don't want to do all of that emulation stuff. They don't want to wait and go through all that. No, they're just going to want to plug and play. They're just going to go, click, 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 boom, download the game, play. Like, you see what I'm saying? I think I follow you on Twitter. How am I supposed to pronounce your username? Is it 9? Your literal YouTube channel says pronounced 9. Okay, good to see you. I believe that we're mutuals on Twitter. Good to see you. This is why I said workstation. Yeah, everybody's responding to that tweet like they don't understand the conversation. Vegas, welcome back as a member plus. Is that a renewal or an upgrade? I'm going to bump it to 502. If it's an upgrade, I'll bump it one more time. What should we do? We need a stretch goal. We've only been streaming for like an hour and 40. Charles Hawk with a $5 super chat says, next time my mother-in-law asks for advice on a game for her PS5, I'm going to tell her to get a PC and emulator games. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. The PC Master Race guys are in my mentions. They're like, you're delusional. You can play Switch games on your PC. And it's like, I wasn't talking about that. I wasn't saying that you literally can't do it. I'm saying when the Switch 2 comes out, you're not going to be able to play Switch 2 games on your PC without doing all of that and waiting. You're not just going to be able to go buy them and then plug them onto your computer. Golly goodness. I'm convinced that the guys pushing this new PC versus console thing aren't PC or PC Master Race guys at all. They're recent Xbox converts. 100%. Great shot with a $5 super chat says, this is anecdotal, but my younger brother always played on console despite having access to a PC. Some people just want plug and play. Oh, for sure. For sure. If everyone wanted to fiddle with their own stuff, we wouldn't have mechanics. We wouldn't have handymen. The same logic applies to PCs and consoles. Yeah. Yeah. Can I give them my credit card, click 2 buttons and play? Then why are we discussing this? Right. That's me. I prefer plug and play and the console experience. I got a mid-gaming PC, Switch OLED, and a PS5 Pro. We play consoles a heck of a lot more. I have a great PC, but I still use my Switch and PS5 because all the crap. See, y'all are the people that I want to talk to. Y'all are my people. The people that are like, I play here, I play here, I play both, I have both. I have PC, but my buddy likes console. Like, you're my people. You're gamers. You're gamers. These people that are out here being warriors for, well, you should just do PC. PlayStation's stupid. You're not a gamer. You're not. You're not a gamer. You're a warrior. You're fighting for a side. You don't care about games. You don't. I think that's just going to handle these discussions in the future. Like, you're not a gamer. Because gamers make space for other gamers. You're not doing that. Ergo, you're not a gamer. You're not. You're going to disparage people's choices and where they like to play, and you're going to act like what they're doing is stupid and foolish. Well, I don't think you're a gamer then. I don't like you. I don't want to associate with you. I like making space for people to play wherever they want. You know, it's funny. This is really funny. This feels like an internal contradiction, maybe even a thread of hypocrisy. Everybody keeps talking about how exclusives are anti-consumer and you should just put the games everywhere. Interesting. And the same people that keep doing that are suddenly acting like one place to game is better and gaming over here is stupid. Almost as if all the posturing and all the bluster about anti-consumer and putting games everywhere is just a bunch of BS. You don't care about that. You don't care about the consumer. Because if you cared about the consumer, you would take my posture and you would say, game wherever you want. I don't care where you game. You want a $5,000 PC? Do you want to buy a Pro? Do you want to buy a Switch? I don't care. Game wherever you want. It's this internal dissonance about, like, they'll puff their chest out real big and start talking big game about how, like, exclusives are anti-consumer and you should put games everywhere, but then they're going to get self-righteous and ideological about how you're stupid and you got scammed because you bought a Pro. You're not a gamer. You don't care about the games. You don't care about the people who play the games or make the games. You're just on some weird warrior wavelength because you got to feel good about your choices or your life. So you go out here and you denigrate people who do anything that's different than you. It's just insecure. It's just insecurity. Like, I don't care what you game on or how you game. I don't even care if you're a mobile gamer. $5 super chat from Street Shadow. Also, for those of you saying, put Switch games on PC, you also now remove the appeal of the Switch and the Switch 2, the mobility of the handheld, the mode, and the Joy-Cons. Saw my pick in Discord. Still play Pro 97% of the time. Yeah, Rich Rod put a pic of his PC in the Discord. So, I think that's my way of handling this going forward. If you're gonna warrior for PC and you're gonna denigrate people who like want a PS5 or a Pro, or you're like that, you know, that's stupid. You could just emulate that on PC. You're not a gamer. You're not. You play games, but you're not a gamer. Because a gamer would say, hey man, you play games? I play games. That's sick. Where do you play? Oh, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, hobbyists and enthusiasts in different areas, it's not like, oh, you like to go fly fishing? Oh, that's sweet. Where do you fly fish? Oh, you fly fish there? That's dumb. You're an idiot. Come on, man. What are you doing? I think there's obviously a huge amount of subjectivity. Like, I didn't want to play on a gaming PC, but it doesn't mean I can't afford it. My watch is more than 10 times the price of a top-end PC. I'm not surprised by that. MASH. I'm not surprised by that. I'm PC. I have a better quality experience. Thanks. For you, yeah, I have a better experience on my Pro than I would on a PC because that's just my preference. Like, do you see what you're doing? Like, I really want you to read that sentence back. I want you to hear how it sounds. I'm PC. I have a better quality experience. Thanks. What? Comparison is the thief of joy. Why do you feel like you need to compare your experience to the experience of others? Like, who cares? If it's so great and it's so enjoyable, why would you? I don't feel like you'd need to defend it. Methinks you doth protest too much. Like, why? Why would you need to defend it? It was not meant for you. You're in my chat, son. What are you talking about? If you say something here, it's meant for all of us to read and respond to if we want. You're in my chat. What I tell you what, Dirty, you let me know when I'm allowed to read your chat messages and respond. You just let me know. Send me a little memo. And be like, you can respond to this one. I have all three, says JRAM. Top tier PC, a PS5, and a Switch. I emulate the old NES games. I prefer PC, but PS5 for their amazing exclusives. Switch is awesome for travel. Yeah, I actually, for the first time, I think ever... Yeah, for the first time ever, I took my Switch and gamed on the go with it. And I've had it since 2017. And for the first time in 2024, I was gaming on the go with it. I had never done that before. I just didn't care to. I was just always playing with it in my house. You know what I'm saying? Like, the subjective value that you get from a device can change very quickly. It was like all of a sudden it was like, oh, I'm going to take this trip. I would like to play some games while I'm there, you know, instead of like read. I just wasn't in the mood to read. So I was like, let's go. Stop yelling. You're upsetting my dog. I'm sorry. You want to go for a walk? You want to go for a walk? Enjoy that. It took me 2 years to save up for an Xbox and a PS5. My next goal is a PC handheld. I'm really excited to see where handhelds go with frame gen, and if they can remove input latency when you're using frame gen. Oh my gosh, like what that could do for handhelds could be huge. Spot from Straight Shot. These PC guys don't have a family steady work. That's not true. There's plenty of PC guys that are not on this wavelength. My dog doesn't, but I kind of really want to go for a walk now. I'll go and take one. I think the overcomplicating a PC is quite disingenuous, if I'm being honest. No. Nobody's being disingenuous. If you go back to what I was saying, I was very fair, unless you're responding to somebody in chat, Banana. I said something that is simple for you can be very complex to another person because you've done it. I basically said, listen, I can sit behind a drum set and it makes sense to me. I can play. Somebody else gets behind a drum set and they're like, ding, boom, boom, bing, and they don't know how to play. It's simple to me. It's not simple to them. So yes, the simplicity of PC and PC gaming land and emulation and ROM dumping, to you it's like it's no big deal. You press a couple buttons and it's done. To them, it's like another language. Like they look at it and they're like, I don't understand how any of this works. You know this is true after you build your first PC. You build your first PC and you're like, you know, I used to look into there and I thought this was crazy complicated. It's kind of like Legos. This snaps in here, this plugs in here, snippity, snippity, snap. Put a little bit of that paste on there, turn it on, right? Like to you, you're like, I can't believe that this is that simplistic. But to the person who's never done it, that is complex. It's like, oh my gosh, you built a PC? You know what I mean? Like the average consumer is going to think you're a wizard. Have you ever worked in an office and the tech guy, the IT guy comes around and he fixes the network or the printer or something, and the person's like, thanks, man. Oh, gee. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is something I've been saying. I love this quote. I don't know if this is exactly right, but Waldo Emerson is quoted as saying, every man is a genius in an area that I am not, and in that I learn from him. And I've always said, like, I love the tradesman for this reason. Like, if a plumber comes into my house or an electrician comes into my house, he's Einstein in that environment, and I'm a dummy. I'm a total dum-dum. I don't know how to do any of this stuff, right? And I like to kind of follow them around, and I kind of like to listen and learn and pick things up. But that's just not my world. Your car breaks down, same deal. That mechanic is Einstein. I'm like, I don't know. Here you go. I can put air in the tires when they get low. That's it. PC land, it's like that. If you've built a PC, if you know how to like emulate and ROM dump, like you're Einstein to the guy that's never done it. He's like, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I'm sitting here as a live streamer with thousands of dollars of equipment in front of me. I got cameras, I got a teleprompter, I got 2 computers, 3 monitors, keyboards, mice, and a partridge and a pear tree. And you know what I don't want to do? I don't want to go learn how to ROM dump and emulate Nintendo Switch games. Frick that. I'm going to go to Target or Best Buy or wherever, and I'm going to go, whoop, whoop, scan my card, give me it, come home, play. Done. I'm dating myself by sliding the card like that. Now you like push it in or just like set it on the thing. You see what I'm saying? I'm a genius to that average consumer. Like they would come into my office and they would look at all this stuff and they'd be like, oh my gosh, what are you operating NASA in here? I've shown my studio to people that are not a part of this world and they think that this is insane. And even I would be like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go watch Mudahar's video on how to ROM dump and then wait for the game. Trust me, I tried it with Zelda. I was like, I own the game. I want to play it co-op with my wife. You guys are telling me that I can. After one evening of trying and tweaking, I was like, I don't want to do this. I stopped trying. I was like, yeah, this isn't worth it. It's not worth it. Apple iWatch lets you touch pay. Almost green badge time. Keep up the dope content. Thank you so much, Dylan, for 35 months. Getting close to... What do you guys want to do for a stretch goal? So the stream with Madam will be tomorrow night. It won't be tonight. It'll be tomorrow night. We had some funny ideas for stretch goals, like things to make me do during the stream. I can't remember what we came up with. Now I'm fixated on that sweater. This is a zip-up hoodie. What are you talking about? This is an Into the AM zip-up hoodie. What are you talking about? Where can I find a PC Einstein? I'm willing to trade drum lessons for one. PC gamers that won't stop talking about consoles are Valve Steam fanboys who want in on the console wars. They'll never admit it, though. I guess that's why I'm confused. Like, why do you keep interjecting yourself into the conversation? That's what I don't get. I don't understand it. It's like showing up to people who are talking about painting with oils, and you're like, well, you know you could use watercolors, right? It's like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you in this place? We need to separate out the people that bought high-end PC for gaming and those who bought it as a status symbol. Like, you do you, but we need a little space between us. Yeah, I'm not sure who Munz was talking about. These dudes ain't real. Who still watches that clown? Munz, who are you talking about? They're mad because there are big names in the industry that don't care about them. PC fanboys in fighting over components. These are console fanboys with makeup on. That's what it feels like, Pixel John. Because, like, Zubair told me, he's like, oh no, the PC boys fight all the time about stuff. He mentioned you? I don't think he mentioned me. I can see his chat log. He came in today and he said, you never got hacked. Liars, quit making up fake scenarios. I'm not sure who he was talking to when he said that. He said, these dudes ain't real. He says, who watches that clown? He didn't say this clown. He said that clown. I mean, if he was talking about me, then yeah, he can go. Like, if you're just going to come in and insult me, there's no reason to let you stay here. Do people argue about bread like this? Are there obnoxious sourdough fanboys? Oh, Muda. I mean, I don't have anything against him, but when the PS5 Pro came out, he had a video where he gave horrendous advice. He was encouraging people buy. He pointed to a $1,400 pre-built PC at Best Buy that had a smaller hard drive. It was insane. These boys got so twisted up over the PS5 Pro that they lost the plot. They lost the plot. It was like, what? Why on earth would you recommend somebody spend twice as much than the Pro cost for a rig that was arguably weaker? It was like, what in the world is going on? Enjoy your content, Reforge. Glad to see you're growing. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Elijah. I appreciate that. Listen, if you guys are here and enjoying the show, all right, we're going to do something later. I'm going to give like a beginner's guide stream. It's basically going to be like Returnal in 2025. We're going to do that later. It's like one of my favorite games, but we're just going to keep this vibe going. We're just going to keep talking, discussing, talking gaming news. You guys can submit questions as a member. Do me a favor and take a quick second and smash the like button. I am going to answer one question in here, and then I'm going to clear the question queue. JC asked me, what did I think about the ending of FF16? And what goes down with Joshua? Well, I don't want to get into story spoilers, but I love the story. I love the ending. I thought it was very touching. You know, there were good flashbacks. There were good moments. It was quite good. I thought the boss fights got really, really long in the tooth. I think the second half of that game, I think like every boss fight could be about half as long because like they're fun. The combat's fun. But it just gets really repetitious. It's like it just takes forever to get their health bar down, and then you get their health bar down, and they're like, ho ho, second phase, and then their health bar is full again. Or they're like, ho ho, third phase, now I'm an icon. I love the cinematic quality of that. I think the cinematic quality of the fights is ridiculously strong. They just take a super long time. What sword did you have? I don't even remember. I think it was like in the 300 damage threshold or something. They just get long in the tooth. It's like and then some of the fights, like the one fight at the end, I wasn't even doing anything. Like there's like at least 5 minutes where I'm not doing anything. They're just like the icon is beating up on me and I'm losing health. And then periodically I have a button prompt. And then finally we all work together and then we thwart him. It was not fun. I was like, I'm not doing anything. It was basically like a cutscene where I had to mash the square button every now and again. there were some choices there that I just didn't understand. I was like, you could have just made that a cutscene. It was an epic cutscene as a cutscene. You don't need to periodically ask me to like smash square. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the cutscenes were sick. Like the action is sick. But making me periodically like, hey, it's your turn now, smash square. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Like, it's not bad. I just don't think it's a good idea. It's like, yeah, you guys could have avoided a lot of this, and it still would have been epic. It still would have been cinematically strong. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. But those are fair critiques. If those are the biggest pain points, then you overall enjoyed it. Yeah, overall I loved it. As a longtime Final Fantasy fan, I'm happy you enjoyed it. I was super surprised that I rolled credits on a Final Fantasy game. I remember playing that demo, and I was like, this combat is sick. Here's how they got me. And this is brilliant. This is a lesson for other games. They let me play a demo in the beginning, and then they let me play a demo about like halfway through the game. I was like, you got some stuff. Yeah, you got some stuff. And I was like, this game is sick. That was a really smart choice. Without that demo, I may have kept my distance from that game. I may have been like, nah, that's not for me. You know, you miss the turn-based games, but with the new ATK system, it's pretty solid. It's like DMC Lite. I'm assuming if you really like turn-based games, borderline, that you're really looking forward to Expedition 33. I traditionally can't get into turn-based games. I love Super Mario RPG like way back in the day. I almost finished Child of Light. I remember I was enjoying that. I can't remember why I stopped playing that one. That was an Xbox title. And I am really looking forward to Expedition 33. It might be the first turn-based game that I roll credits on. I think it just looks incredible. Lona doesn't like turn-based. He says it's too much like reading. Nash says, hot take, many top YouTube creators benefit from high-end PCs for their content, and so they have access to a fairly good PC gaming rig with minor adjustments, and they reflect the loudest voice on YouTube. That's probably insightful. I think that's pretty insightful. I think that's a good insight. Yeah. Oh, is somebody asking about the lawsuit? The lawsuit against PlayStation for the high prices. This isn't the first time. I can't see it going anywhere. I can't see it going anywhere. You can't force them to make their games available elsewhere. That's ridiculous. That's not a free market. Now, other countries might have a problem with it, but here's the risk they're going to take, right? If you're not a big enough country, PlayStation could just be like, well, frick you then. Hopefully your economy enjoys getting less. Getting less taxes, less money spent in it. We just won't sell our products over there then. Fine. Bye. If your market is not going to celebrate a free market and you're going to basically force them to make their games available in other digital markets, if I was PlayStation, I'd say fine. We make plenty of money in the US. We make plenty of money in Europe. See ya. That's what I would say. I'd say deuces. Like, if you want to make me put my games elsewhere because you think my prices are too high, okay. See ya. Like, that's an easy decision. The U.S. isn't doing that. Europe's not doing that. Like, none of the major markets that PlayStation sells in is doing that. It's like, okay, go ahead. We'll just leave. Rather than go through the trouble of whatever it is you're going to try and force us to do. That's what I would say. So, I don't think that case goes anywhere. You're basically going to lose... you're basically going to lose potential, like, items in your... items in your dadgum economy. Hang on. Is Um, uh, Mash needs a nickname like the Masher. What have we been doing? What have we been doing for incentives in the Kingdom Come Deliverance streams? I can't remember what we've done. We did 30 FPS in Avowed, and it was painful. Holy mackerel, it was painful. There's got to be something y'all want. Y'all are like, no, we don't want anything. Come on, man. There's got to be something y'all want. Some kind of pain to put me through. I thought his nickname was Mash. Brett's got a good one. PWH Town says, do you think Sony should stay with the rumored Vita successor or just make an updated Portal? I think the latter because it frees up dev time and resources. Give me an OLED with a bigger battery. Well, here's the thing, PW. Select every Apple. Pirate Yakuza with Madam. Would you guys rather a switch to Pirate Yakuza? I thought people were enjoying the Kingdom Come Deliverance. Play with an eye patch on. I actually have a pirate eye patch in the house. So I think I think they had a breakthrough with PSSR. Now I got a little bit of a wink and a nudge privately that I'm on to something. Okay. I've not been given any info. But I got a little wink and a nudge that I'm on to something. I think they had a breakthrough with PSSR. So here's what I think they're going to do. I think the PlayStation handheld will be able to run PlayStation 5 games. I do. It will be able to run them native. The Q Lite was the Portal. Okay? The Q Lite was the Portal. There's a Q. There's a device coming that ain't the Q Lite. It's not a remote play. It's not a cloud. There is something coming that is going to be able to do PS5 native. They're going to use PSSR. I believe it. And I'll tell you what, I don't think it's ready yet. I think it's tied to Project Amethyst. That's my current theory. I think the handheld from PlayStation is tied to Project Amethyst and the PS6. I think it's all, I'm telling you, they want to make fun of me and anybody who is excited about what PlayStation is doing. I trust Mark Cerny. I'm telling you, this guy knows what he's doing. They're going to tie it all together. There's going to be cartilage between all of it. I don't get the breakthrough. It's just a machine learning upscaler. I think they had a breakthrough with respect to we can scale this down in a handheld. That's what I mean, Paul. When I say breakthrough, I'm not like, oh my gosh, they cracked the matrix. I'm saying they figured out, hey, this has more application than just the Pro. This has more application here. That's what I think. I think they figured out how to scale it down. Breakthrough in quality at low resolutions. Yes, something happened. And somebody said, wait a minute here, wait. Because think about it. Track with me, Paul. Around the same time, listen, just think about this. I just pieced this one together. Around the same time that Tom Henderson was saying that the Q Lite was coming, he also got information about the Pro. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think these two things are kind of happening in tandem. They were working on the tech for the Pro, and they were working on this Portal, and somebody somewhere said, what if we took this into a handheld? And I think they started working on it. I think it's potentially related to Project Amethyst and the PS6. Moore's Law is dead said the handheld is for PS6. That's why it will be available to run PS5 games. So there you go. Moore's Law has gotten some pretty good intel. Mine's all theory. I do not have insider information. Mine's all theory, just based on the tea leaves and what we're seeing and hearing. And I'm like, and this is why I said don't disparage frame gen and NVIDIA's efforts because, fake frames. Well, hang on a minute now. Again, you got to go back to what Mark Cerny said with Digital Foundry. We got to find new ways to talk about. It's not just, is it native res? Is it genuine frames? We have to talk about image quality and image stability. That's the true measure. Is the image stable? Is it at a high quality? Is there no input latency? Then I don't give a frick. I don't care. I do not care. If I got a handheld that's running 1080 60 in basically any game I throw at it, and you're doing it with wizardry and fake resolution and fake frames, but if I've got no input latency and it looks really good, I do not care. I don't. I think people are caring about things because they're trying to win some kind of point game. And I'm like, I don't care about that. You know that when you're playing that's not actually native 4K. Oh, okay, yeah. I'll try to tell my eyeballs and my brain that when I'm having a good time playing the game later. Like, I'll be sure to tell, hey, eyeballs, hey, brain, just so you know, this isn't native 4K. Who cares? It was like the guys who didn't understand Space Marine 2 on the Pro and why it was so significant. They're like, yeah, you spent all that money on the Pro and you only got a couple more frames. You aren't paying attention. The image quality was significantly better, getting a bump in image quality, and then the frames were consistent and at 60, unwavering pretty much all the time. That is well worth it. Having my frames not stay, having them drop, having the image quality get blurry and muddy, that's a huge, huge detriment to the experience. But what they'll do is they'll take a freeze frame of a tech breakdown like, yeah, well, you spent all that money on a Pro and you only got a couple more frames. I mean, you don't even understand the world you're talking about. You're just keeping score on Twitter. Future frame gen with reduced latency could lead to higher refresh rates like 480, which is a benefit for everyone in motion clarity. Image quality is crucial in gaming. See, now we're having a conversation, Banana. Listen, I told guys that were immediately disparaging frame gen. I'm like, you need to slow down. You sound like the people who immediately disparaged PSSR because there was a couple of bad patches. Frame gen combined with NVIDIA Reflex could be a game changer for handhelds. I mean, a game changer. Imagine, I keep telling people, in 4 to 5 years, I believe this, you're going to be able to go buy a handheld for $800, $1,000, somewhere in that price hemisphere, probably. And you're not even going to question if you can play all the games at 60 FPS. You're not even going to question it. I think it'll just be normal. It'll just be normal. You'll be like, oh yeah, you totally can. Yeah. Why? Well, yeah, frame gen, NVIDIA Reflex is better now. You know, input latency is like non-existent. Yeah, image quality is great. Upscalers are better. Yeah, the resolution's fine. Yeah, it looks amazing. It looks and runs amazing. It'll be able to operate at a lower power threshold, so your battery life's not going to be terrible. It's not going to get like red hot in your hand and die after an hour. Like, I'm telling you, that stuff's going to be big. Like what NVIDIA is doing and what they're probably doing with AMD and Project Amethyst, I think it's going to be pretty significant in that realm. And you're going to get all these people that get caught up in like, well, it's fake frames and it's not real resolution. And it's like, who cares? Who cares? Death Knight with a £5 super chat. We're one super chat away from Confetto. Hats off to you. I don't know how you're doing this every weekday for 5 hours. It's literally, I'd literally have nothing to talk about. Keep it up. Love the content. Thank you, Death Knight. I appreciate that. The only reason I'm able to do it is because of folks like you guys. Get us to 400 likes. There's so many people still here, and a bunch of you have not hit like yet. I saw you. I was watching. I know you didn't do it yet. Take a quick second. Make sure YouTube's saving your like. And we are working on a stretch goal of 600. You guys could, I tell you what we could do. I'll give you guys a doubleheader. Doubleheaders don't happen all that often. If you guys hit the stretch goal, we will play more of Madam with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but we'll also check out some Pirate Yakuza with you guys, because that could be pretty funny. I was going to skip it, but some people threw it out there. You want me to wear a pirate patch? That'll probably take another stretch. I'm not wearing a pirate patch, but we'll play the game. You guys want to do it? We'll see if we can hit that goal. It's fun to go for stretch goals. We typically go long on Fridays. I am going to be playing Returnal later with you guys just to show it to you. I can't imagine changing my position that frame gen with the starting frame rate below 60 is an abuse of the technology. You'll love it. It's a blast. I think it could be really, really fun. We didn't even talk about Doom. Okay, yeah. So Doom it's in the show Open Broken. Basically, what the guy said from id Software, he said they have built some of the largest areas that they have ever built. Party! Risik with the 5-bomb makes it rain confetti, and I have to add a member to the count. Thank you so much for doing that. Let me get you here. I will gift a member. There we go. Let me add a member to the total here. 504. There we go. There we go. There's the confetti, and here's the membership that I owe you guys. We always take every 5 super chats. I pay it forward back to the community, and some lucky person gets a member. You guys can submit questions right now. We're kind of all over the place. Okay, so what he said, Lobo, is he said it's some of the biggest areas they've ever built. And he said they think the sweet spot is, because they're basically going to be exploration in Doom the Dark Ages. Right? So you're going to be able to explore and find everything. And he says he didn't want people to feel like they had to spend 2 hours in an area. And Risik sets up the 505. We're now 20 away from 525. I wonder if this guy's setting up his own dunker. That seems his style. We'll see. We'll see. He said, he thinks the sweet spot's an hour. He said, but if you're a completionist, you're going to get more time out of it. That's what he said. Right? So it's going to be almost quasi-open world. And if you look, the swooping camera and the mountains and the valleys, it's going to be a really big game. And Risik with another gifted membership. Thank you so much. And he bumps the line to 506. Y'all better watch out. There it is. A 20 bomb from Risik. And it's an Agent of Chaos 20 bomb. This guy sets up his own Agent of Chaos 20 bomb. He just has his own way of doing things. Love you, Risik. Thank you. There are some heavy hitters in chat. There really are. Let me see if I can get a Pirate Yakuza PNG. Let's see if we can get a Pirate Yakuza PNG here, and we'll put him down there. Yeah, there we go. We got one. Well, no, hang on. Yeah, it's PNG. Let me save it. All right, let me save it. And then I'm going to go to here, and we're going to put him down there so that you guys know what we're going for. There he is. There you go. There he is. That's the goal. That's the goal. If we hit the stretch, we'll do a double header. We'll continue Madam's Kingdom Come Deliverance stream, and then we'll also play some Pirate Yakuza. With Madam's commentary, any game can be absolutely hilarious. So, people were already complaining about the mission lengths in Eternal 1 hour long. Well, he was saying, and a 5-bomb from Jack Garland says, I'll help with that, and gets us to 531. I owe you guys some members. Well, I did the 50 bomb to Flex, but now I got to donate, says Jack Garland. So now we're a 20 away from 551. So yeah, I'll do a 10 bomb when we get to 551. I'm feeling generous. I had to flex on a hater on Twitter who was calling out my integrity. Where are you based? Let's see here. U.S. in let's see. In Louisville, KY. Okay. Remember, you play as a guy with amnesia, so you're playing as blind as the main character. Huh? In Pirate Yakuza? Be cool, bro. Dirty, I hope your intentions are pure, and I hope you see something, okay? Dirty and Banana and some of the other guys, okay? Y'all have come in here with a very different perspective and a very different outlook, and look at what has happened. I've engaged with you. I've dialogued with you. You know, I even asked if Banana was excited about Expedition 33 because they said they really liked turn-based games. Like, we absolutely do not run people out of here who have like different opinions and different thoughts and ideas. If you come in, you start insulting people, start insulting me. We just don't abide that. That's just not the kind of environment that we foster here, right? So I hope you feel that. I hope you feel genuinely welcomed and that you've had a good time today, because I feel like we've had good discussions, good back and forth. I'm not doing anything bad. I just disagree with your takes. I know. I just said that. I just said, like, I hope that that's been your experience, that you've just come in and disagreed with me, and nobody's tried to run you out of here or, you know, insult you. If anybody has, let us know. I don't want community members doing that. This month, I have been mostly eating cabbage. And Zubair says, tell us a story. I would imagine their house smells pretty bad. Okay, Joker Quinn with a question. What's the one thing you want the most out of Doom the Dark Ages? Okay. I want that return to form. I want that moment to moment to be so good. I really did not like the Marauders in in Eternal. I thought 2016 was like perfect. And I thought Eternal was the Marauders just rubbed me the wrong way. I thought the Marauder made for a great boss. I didn't think the Marauder made for great rhythmic combat. I feel like he disrupted the rhythm, like the flow state. I didn't like it. I was doing like the hardest challenges in that game. You know, those, what were they called? You could like go up and like pull the thing and do the really, really challenging rooms. I was doing those like flawlessly. So it wasn't like a skill issue. I just did not like it. I was like, the Marauders brought something to the rhythm that I didn't like. It felt super disruptive. I wasn't like a rage quit or anything. I just was like, I don't like what this is doing to the flow. They were a cakewalk once I understood the fights, especially when there were two. Oh, the adrenaline rush of those fights. I remember the last fight had again that I was just like, I don't want to do this. I beat the fight. And I beat the Marauder, but like, it just didn't feel good. It felt all wonky and dissonant or something. It didn't feel right. I don't know what it was. Yeah, I much preferred 2016 to Eternal. Yeah, the Slayer Gates. I was wrecking the Slayer Gates. It was not a skill issue at all. There's a Push Square article from Yoshida interview up now where he explains Sony's description of first party, second party. I will post in a thread. Thank you for the $10 super chat, Street Shadow. I read some of that yesterday and tried to explain to people. Even this morning, I invoked it and brought it up, Street Shadow. I said, listen, you know, he's telling you that PlayStation views these as all in different ways and equal ways than we do. And that's why your state of plays and your showcases are never going to be nothing but first-party studios, or you're only ever going to see probably one or two of them at a showcase. First party, a game published and fully funded by Sony, usually owns the IP. Lancelot says here, on the subject of Doom the Dark Ages, he says, no multiplayer for Doom the Dark Ages. That is a staple of replayability of Doom since the first one in the 90s. Does this hurt the overall experience? As a longtime player, I have doubts. I trust the interview about this. The interview about this makes it very clear, okay? Interview about this makes it very clear. They were able to do way more by digging in and expanding the campaign and the experience because they weren't focused on multiplayer. And I got to tell you, I think they made the right choice. He literally says you get to ride on a dragon because we didn't do multiplayer. And I'm like, if there's a studio that I trust with, hey, we shrunk scope and it benefited quality, I trust id Software. I do. I don't think multiplayer is worth it. I just don't think it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm very biased. I'll own my bias here. I'm not a big multiplayer guy anymore. But the quality of the multiplayer and the life of the multiplayer, is it really worth dev time now? Like, arena shooters are just not really fast-paced, high-octane arena shooters. They're just not in demand anymore. They just aren't. They shrunk the scope with Doom Eternal, and it downgraded the game. I need you to explain what you mean. 2Spot from Death Knight. I've never played any Doom game. Should I start? Yes. Yes, you should start with Doom 2016. Emu Billy says, what's with the Twitter account that keeps clipping you? You're rent-free in their head. Well, they give me free advertising, but they also make it clear who has character and integrity and who doesn't. So no, I did not resolve the back and forth yesterday with Destin. Destin got corrected on something that he was factually and provably incorrect about, and he decided to run into the arms of someone who harasses me every single day, and then basically added a salt farmer. He basically called Daddy to fight for him because he can't fight for himself. He can't substantiate his claim. He later that day posted another tweet explaining like what Yoshida said, and he completely disregarded how inaccurate his original tweet was. He just shifted the goalposts around and was like, well, this is what Yoshida was saying. He has yet to, and he cannot substantiate his claim that Yoshida was speaking to growing in the PC, US, and Chinese market. He cannot substantiate that claim because it is false. Yoshida specifically spoke to the strategy of growing in the Chinese market on PC, and he gives very specific and contextual reasons to the fact that there is not a strong console presence there. Destin's interpretation of what Yoshida said is nonsensical because there's a strong console presence for PlayStation in the US. So if he was speaking to the strategy of growth in both PC markets, US and China, what Yoshida says makes no sense because he says there's not a strong console presence there, so that's why they're going on to PC. PC is crucial in the Chinese market. His read and interpretation of it is egregiously false. Did anybody come to his rescue? Did Yoshida? No. Did Colin? No. Nobody's going to come to his rescue and say, oh yeah, that's what Yoshida meant, because it's not what he said. It's not what he meant. Nothing that I just said in the last 2 minutes is an attack on him as a person. It is a factual breakdown of how he's incorrect. If you're going to say things like that in the public as someone who claims to be reporting on gaming news and it's incorrect, I'm going to call you on it. I don't put him in the same category as a salt farmer or a rage farmer. I'm not going to engage with court jesters and fools who make foolish content. He got to interview Phil Spencer. He's not just some nobody who makes salt content. And I saw him saying something that was false. It's as simple as that. I didn't attack him personally. And his response to getting called out was to signal boost someone who harasses me every day, and then he mentions and he ats and gets and calls in somebody to fight for him. And just like Yoshida, he misrepresented what I said. So no, we didn't resolve it. And I don't care if people want to clip me every single day. I don't. I've said this many, many, many times. You can keep convincing people that don't like me to continue to not like me. I don't care. I know you don't like me. You still watch. You still show up and hate watching clip. So, who's in the position of power here? Like, I don't care. I've never tried to stop any of it. I've never tried to go and report any of it or copyright claim any of it or any of that. I have no interest in doing that. I was told that it's against the terms and conditions of Twitter to post paid for content. I was told that privately by somebody. I'm not going to go after people that are doing it. I don't think that they should. I have publicly and verbally made it clear that I feel like my paid for content is off limits. I don't think you should be putting it in your content. Now, there are some people that are respecting that, and there are some that are not, right? I've made it clear that their attention and their clipping of me, it's unwanted. I deem it as harassment. You're harassing me every single day. I don't want your attention. I don't want you watching my shows. I don't want you coming in here. I don't want you doing that. They're going to keep doing it. They don't care. So. All right, see you later, Ice Queen. Hadigan says, I showed up almost 2 years ago from a hate clip. I listened for a few hours and realized quickly that hate farmers were full of crap and Lono makes quality content. How many people are here right now who found me through hate content or salt content? How many? Chime in if you found me because of a Twitter clip or a salt video on YouTube. Genuinely curious how many people we have here right now that's how you found me. 1, Boner Jams, great name. Okay, Adam, Bandit, Dirty, Mash, we're at 5. Taz, Alan, Death Knight says I found you from Assault Farmer. There we go. We're at 9. Chemtrails, I'm sorry, now we're at 9. Johan, we're at 10. 11. Classic found me that way. Found you through Just Good Gaming News. Thank you. We're at 11. RPG says me. We're at 12. D Bison, we're at 13. I1 says guilty here also. 14. Ice Queen, 15. I found you because of the Destiny controversy. I'm not going to count that. Ronnie says that's me. 16. Loch Ness says same. 17. Interesting. Old School Gamer says me. Oh, 18. Dustin says me. 19. I got recommended to you by watching someone who was hating on you. I'll take it. 20. This is how I found you, says Amskin. 21. You lose. I want my bird. You lose. Do you see? Your literal biggest supporter found you from hate watching clips. That's right. I get both. I get the people that watch your content, and I get the people that like me. I get both. You want to know what my biggest supporters don't do? They don't watch you. They don't come to your channel. I get both. So go ahead. Keep doing it. Put me in your videos. Yell and scream. Yeah. Run around. Call me names. You can't win. You can't. I'll never answer back. I'll never put a single one of you on my channel ever. I'll never tweet about you, right? Won't do it. You don't get promotion from me. I get promotion from you. There's a point in the movie Runaway Jury where the guy's manipulating what the courtroom's doing, and he gets them all to stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance. And the guy's like, I'm feeling pretty patriotic. Because the guy told them, you're going to end up feeling patriotic, right? Are you feeling patriotic? Matt says, the biggest difference here is, I think, is because you don't focus on the console warring. The audience has become much more intelligent, engaged, and in more nuanced discussions, so it's fun. Oh, Lance, you've got expanded thoughts on multiplayer. I want to see what you have to say about the Doom change. So, Lance says, the multiplayer in Eternal was limited to a single mode, 1 Slayer versus 2 demons. Interesting mode, but by eliminating traditional TDM and CTF, multiplayer took a hit and the replayability took a dive. Wait, I lost your comments. Where'd they go? Salt vids get boring after a while. I'm sure they do. Broken Lobo says, Lono, Whoops, Thrash, my friends are the only content creators I support. Shout out to Elbethium and Pharaoh J. I thought you were going to say Runaway Bride. No, it's Runaway Jury. That's the name of the movie, right? With John Cusack? The multiplayer took a hit, and replayability took a dive. When it came to Eternal versus 2016, says Lancelot, I and many others I typically ran with, we played 2016 for much longer. Switching between single and multi was always more refreshing. Okay, here's what I'm going to say, Lance. Right? Here's what I'm going to say. I get where you're coming from, but just track with this. If they didn't want to build it, then you don't want them building it. Right? To me, that's just basic logic. Like, if they didn't want to build it, then you didn't want them building it. It wouldn't have been any good. You know what it honestly sounds like to me, Lance? This is what it sounds like to me. I'm not trying to project. It sounds like their heart wasn't in it in Eternal. It sounds like their heart wasn't in it. It sounds like they already kind of started moving away from it. They were like, yeah, we want to focus more on the on the campaign. I'm here because of the YouTube algorithm taking me to the GTA 6 trailer 2 watch party. That's right. No, the waiting room. Get it right, Matt. It was a waiting room. Guys, do me a favor. We're having a great day and a good time. Smash the like button. Try to get us to 400 likes. Make sure YouTube's not doing that thing. A bunch of times this week, we've had the like count not move. So make sure it's saving your like. And we are working on a big goal right now. If you get to the 600, tomorrow will be a double header. Tomorrow will be a double header. We will do a Madam stream. She'll continue her gameplay of Kingdom Come Deliverance, and then people want us to also play Pirate Yakuza. So we'll do a double header. I'll buy the game. I didn't buy the game. I'll buy the game. We'll play the game. It'll be a blast. All right? So if you haven't renewed your membership, double check and hit the $sign and see if you can. And a lot of you guys have been gifting and going crazy, and we're well on pace. I am going to be playing Returnal later today. I hope a bunch of you guys stick around. Yes, Jen, it will be tomorrow. The stream with Madam will not be tonight. We have a prior engagement. So tomorrow evening, we typically actually get a bigger turnout on Saturdays anyway. More of you can show up. I'm here from YouTube recommending me because you were covering the ABK buyout. Well, I appreciate that, Hal. Listen, all we established was that in one stream with 475 people, right? We had, what did we get to, 29? We got to 29. Let's just say 30. 30 people out of 475. That's like what, like 6%? Right? 475. Yeah, that's almost 6%. Almost 6% of the people here. That's just people engaging in chat, right? That's metrics, that's engagement, that helps with relevancy. And thank you for the VIP renewal, Gray Speedy, Yakuza time. Like, that's a pretty decent chunk of people that are here. I'd say about 10% in case you missed, counted, or people didn't say anything, right? Like 10% of the folks here are like, yeah, I found you through hate content, through salt content. So, keep going. I could never afford the advertising budget that these people do for me. I hated you on purple too. You hated me on purple? I felt like you hung out and enjoyed the conversation when we talked Destiny. Luke says, Yakuza Pirate with the $2. Luke, don't do super chats if you want Yakuza. Give some people some members, brother. Mash counts for like 50 people. I came to see Jimmy Neutron chat about video games. Hey, listen, I give the people, oh, wrong button. I give the people what they want. I'm joking, you knob. Crap, I missed that. I'm working. Yeah, we have a big incentive right now. Yeah, are we doing town hall this evening? Something we do for our members is we do a weekly town hall, and it's in our Discord. If you want to contribute to the conversation about like what this community can do, what I can do to make the content better, the incentives better, you want to be there for those. Be fair, you know your hair doesn't hold a candle to Jimmy's hair. Sit down, be humble. And a 20 bomb from Mash says, I do count. He's like, I do count as 50 people. Mash is out here button mashing, dude. You know? He's just out here button mashing. He can't help it. You guys sing his praises. He loves it. And I mean, I am eternally grateful. Really, truly. Like, the art of what I do is just, it is so dependent on a user base that supports. That's why we keep saying, man, grab yourself a member plus membership. Like, we need more and more folks grabbing their own membership. We need that. And Luke Vaders is going to bump the line by 1. Thank you so much for the single gift. No, he's going to do 2. Luke Vaders is going to do a couple here. He's like, hey, I'm gonna hit it a few times. Thank you so much, and gets us to 554. You woke up my wife screaming in a 20 bomb from MASH. My kids are so adorable. They'll come down here to watch like a movie, and my daughter will be like, can you not scream about 50 bombs? And Luke Vaders comes in with another one and gets us to 555. He sets up a nice 20 bomb dunker for somebody. If anybody wants to take away some of this glory that Mash always takes for himself, now's the time. People even remember that Jimmy Neutron is a boy genius. I think one of the funniest things that has happened as of late with the Jimmy Neutron thing is when I got hate rated and I pulled an 8 Mile on him. I literally listed all the things that they make fun of me for, and I even added a couple to the fire. And one of them super chatted me and called me Jimmy Neutron after I had just said it. And I'm like, wait, so did I just figure out how to like 3D print my own money here? Like I can basically just like, hey Neanderthal. People say I look like Jimmy Neutron. He's like, yeah, here's $5, Jimmy Neutron. Let's try this again. I'm really short. Yeah, you're really short. Here's $5, shorty. Thank you for the gifted member, Lancelot. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I was like, wait a minute. So I can tell you the insults that people use against me and you'll super chat to say it? I have a kitten-sized bladder. $20. Reforhead was probably the pig of the trolls. I think that was my favorite insult. I thought Reforhead was the best. Yeah. Give us a new one to super chat. Yeah, Reforhead, 5head. Those are great. Those are good. I think those are pretty good. I have a giant forehead. I'll tell you what, I have a giant head. I'm really glad. I was supposed to be balding in my 20s, and for your sake and my sake, I'm glad that didn't happen. I mean, this noggin's huge. The hair hides just how bulbous it is up there. It's too big. I am Melee with 38 months in a VIP. I guess I'll do my part for the goal. It's not much, but it's honest work. It is honest work. Thank you so much. And he bumps the line to 557. Thank you so much, sir. My hairline is finally receding. My forehead's growing. Yeah. Lono doesn't have a giant head. He has a normal head, just a tiny body. I'm like a walking candy apple. That episode where the guy gets Elaine, she thinks that she's like got a giant head. Oh man. Great. Thank you. Guys, where does the upcoming GDC happen? Do you guys know? Like, what city is it in? That's a good tweet. That's a good tweet from J-Dub. I like it. Is Todd Howard taller than Lono? I don't know. Do we know how tall Todd Howard is? When Lono gets sunburned, he looks like a burnt matchstick. That's not bad. You wonder what the lawsuit of the Chris Barrett and Bungie is going to be? It's in San Francisco? Oh, okay. Cool. I had a company reach out and ask if I was going. I was like, I can only go to something like that if it's comped. Like, I can't justify it if it's not comped. He's 5'6". Oh, Todd Howard and I are the same height. Yeah, I'm 5'6". Yeah, and so the guy said, okay, well, I'll keep my ears open. He's like, if I hear of anybody that's comping, I just need to know where you're located. So I was letting him know. I was like, oh, yeah, this is where I am. So I could never justify just, like, going on trips like that. It's so stinking expensive, and it's like, it's not really even something that we do. So it's like, I can't do that. It's because I'm also not making any money while I'm gone. Like, it's like a double whammy, Yo, Catwalk with a gifted. Thank you so much. That gets us to 558. Thank you so much. In the past, anytime I went to places like that, like E3, the Destiny 2 reveal, it was all fully comped. It's like, as a streamer, that's devastating. Like, Holy crap. The hair doesn't count. How tall without? No, for real. Yeah, not with my hair. I'm 5'6". Yeah, without the hair. Yeah. You're 5'6" as well. Small world. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm usually in the height hemisphere of like all of the women that I know. Right. I'm in that bracket. I'm shorter than most of the men that I know. So. If you cut Lono's hair, he's 5'4". He looked like a Funko Pop. That was really unkind when they had him walk out with Troy Baker. The memes from Todd Howard out there with Troy Baker, dude. I was like, that's come on, man. You guys could have had him on opposite sides of the stage at like different microphones, you know. Tag teaming the moment. But boy, the old pal, they had him walk out at the same time. Like Troy was out there with his little brother. And listen, us short kings have got to look out for each other. I was like, don't do that to my boy. What are you doing? That's not fun. That's not funny. That's unkind. How tall is Troy Baker? I don't know, dude. He's towering over him. Troy's got to be like 6'6" or something. He's up there in comparison. He's like a whole foot taller than him. Oh, it's not even photoshopped. Is this photoshopped? I don't think so. No. This isn't even photoshopped. This is real. This is a real picture. It's so mean, dude. Why would you do that? Why? And look, they're really being unkind. Troy is standing closer. Look at where he is on the stage. He's close. He's closer. Todd's further away. They couldn't even do just subtle. Just a little bit of trick photography. Let our boy stand a little bit closer to the camera. Like, come on, man. Oh, my golly. Do that to that poor man. Oh, man. I mean, Todd probably doesn't care. Yeah, this crop was cruel. This was cruel, dude. This is cruel. You know, it doesn't help either that Todd kind of has the same hairstyle as Frodo Baggins. Like, it's a little it's just a little too on the nose, bro. I mean, it is, right? It's just a little too on the nose. It's just too much, man. That's my favorite one. I am not talking any grief. I'm not. I'm saying, why would you do this to him? The microphone's as tall as he is. Like, come on, man. Listen, I'm a short guy. I'm short. I'm as tall as Todd. And if they told me I was walking out there with Troy Baker, I was like, listen, you either give me a step stool or I'm riding on his back. He's gonna give me a piggyback ride. I'm not gonna go out there and stand next to him. Like, we're going to have to make this into a bit. We got to make this into a bit. This is ridiculous. Like, whenever I co-hosted with Ezekiel III, it was like we were on opposite ends of the stage sitting down. If we had to stand next to each other, we 100% would have made it a bit. We would have turned it into a joke. We tweeted something like, don't you ever talk to me or my dad or me and my son ever again, or something like that. I think we did a tweet like that. Like, you know Zeke? Yeah, Zeke's the man. Zeke's the man. He was really fun to work with. He's a super nice, lovable guy. Yeah, like platform shoes or the moon shoes that help you jump higher. Yeah. Something. You know? Something. That crop was some nasty work. Absolutely diabolical. The internet is undefeated, bro. The internet's undefeated. When something like that happens within mere minutes, I mean within minutes, not even minutes, it's like seconds of time, right? It's seconds of time. It is remarkable. That jokes like that surface that quickly. The three of them next to each other, it looks like a character select menu. It kind of does. It's like, do you want to be a high elf? Do you want to be a human? And would you like to be a dwarf? Would you like to be a hobbit? Lono has the Tom Cruise clause for all public appearances. He must appear normal height, or they must be sitting. That's correct. This is correct. Yeah. They prefer halfling. That's right. Find the halflings. Find the halfling. I always liked that line when he says, "Give us the halfling she-elf." I think that just embodies. I love the embodiment of hatred displayed as he describes them in a way that's like he's viewing them as an it, right? It's very othering. It's like perfectly othering. It's such a good embodiment of hatred. I love it. E3 didn't see that clause. None of that footage looks like that. That's not. Yeah, the photoshops where they made him like teeny tiny. That was a little unfair. The photoshops are like, yeah, like Harrison Ford has him like in front of him like he's his kid. Like those are mean. Feet just swinging. There is no footage of me at E3 with my feet swinging. Those chairs were not that tall. They weren't actually tall at all. They were awkward. They were actually low to the ground. The chair and the sofa were low to the ground. They were awkward. If you sat back far in them, you were almost like leaning back. They were super awkward. We complained about like the minute we got up there to do one of the segments. We're like, oh my gosh. We're all like sitting on top of each other practically and like lounging backwards. I did like the mics though. Getting mic'd up like that was fun. The Britney mics are fun. I had long hair, which always made it a bit of an annoyance, but oh yeah, we had some questions about, is there going to be a town hall tonight? I remember once seeing a thumbnail of Lono on a swing. Really? I don't see them in my feed. I don't. Yeah. I had a buddy the other day. He was asking like, what's your channel again? And he was like looking it up. And when he looked me up, I obviously am like the first hit. He was like scrolling and he went past like, I don't know, 6 or 7 videos. And way down, I saw one of the Salt videos and he didn't even really notice it. But I was like, yep, there they are. There they are. Great. I didn't tell him to watch it. It was back in the ABK days. I may still be on with Spotify by the way it's looking. What on earth happened, creature? There's no way they got our login. We didn't give them permission to do that. We just ported the episodes over. I believe that you handled that, right? You handled the technical side. There's no way they got our login to Spotify. I mean, we can reach out to them and ask them, like, hey, it's a mess. I'll go through it with you later. Okay. We'll probably switch to Returnal at like 2 o'clock. So in a little over 30 minutes. You guys still have some time to hit the stretch goal. We only need about 40 more members. Make sure that you don't have a renewal to celebrate. Let me give you guys a member count. Let's see where we are on Member Plus. A couple of you guys upgraded today. A couple of you guys signed up brand new as Member Plus. So thank you so much for doing that. And a lot of super chats as well. So thank you to everybody who just continues to support the channel directly and monetarily. If you're like, man, I can't support the channel like that. Listening and lurking is a humongous way to support as well is smashing the like button. That helps more people find the stream. So everybody who has continued to do that, thank you so much. Oh, we hit a record. We are at 577. Oh no, that's the current record. We hit that last week. So we're right back to our previous record. We are at 577 member plus and above. That means we only need 33 people to upgrade to member plus. It's $1 to upgrade. Thank you so much to everybody who doesn't just upgrade but maintains their member pluses. We greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much to everybody who continues to support the channel in that way. And there's one right there. Punisher Matt with 18 months says, keep up the good work. Thank you. Whenever you guys are at that threshold, man, and you renew, it bumps the line every single time. So thank you so much. You're helping us hit that goal just by renewing. Punisher Matt, it's appreciated. Very, very much. Let's see. And those of you that have been continually watching the uploads as well, we uploaded a lot of videos. A lot of videos. We should have a video hitting this evening about Hell Is Us. I argue in the video that it's a sleeper. It's going to be like a sleeper hit. Maybe Game of the Year sleeper. We will see how it goes. All right. Finally able to be back, lurking and throwing a like out there. Thank you, Salty Butter. Always appreciate your perspective. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. Prison Hell Is Us. Be sure to check out that video tonight. Yep. No upgrades for me. Been VIP since first week I found your channel. I appreciate that, JC. Those of you that are at VIP, those of you that are at Member Plus, man, I appreciate that so much. You guys get to hit that. You guys get to hit that total every single month, and it is greatly appreciated. Yeah, there's the upgrade. Upgrading, I know a lot of you are trying to figure it out, and sometimes it doesn't let you, which is very, very frustrating. Some people upgrade it super easy. Some people go to do it, and like the button's not even there. So if it's not letting you, you know, I am sorry. I don't know why they make it so dadgum difficult, but it is what it is. We just have to hope and pray that, you know, check it every day and see if, you know, sometimes it'll open up, and sometimes you have to be like in between. You know what I mean? Dead says play a game. We will be playing one today. I'm going to be giving sort of like a Returnal in 2025 stream, giving kind of a beginner's guide, walking people through how the game actually does have progression. You just might not know about it, and trying to like clue people in to how to have a good time in Returnal. That'll be fun. Because of Saros's announcement, there's people that are kind of like wanting to go into Returnal and feel like they kind of missed out, and I want to kind of try to help with that. And it's like one of my all-time favorite games. How about a nice game of chess? Come on, Lono. One last pose for Discord. That's gross, man. Don't do that. I don't want to kind of stuff. I'm literally playing Returnal right now. Nice. Hell Is Us said it's real open world. No quests or markers or anything like that. Yeah. I talk about that in the video, so you'll have to check that one out. It'll hit this evening around 7. More and more, we've been trying to do little 4-minute uploads in the evenings. We do the longer uploads in the mornings. So we appreciate everybody who's been, you know, jumping on those, watching them, leaving comments. It's greatly appreciated. Someone remember what that movie is from? How about a nice game of chess? I don't know. That's a super generic. How about a nice game of chess? Back to the Returnal campaign. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. And hopefully a bunch of you stick around when we make that shift and that move. We don't do, like, gameplay here all that often. Oh, it's from War Games? Yeah, I didn't recognize it. I think I've heard about I couldn't place it. Yeah, I couldn't place it either. I was just like, huh? I was thinking of it. I know, different movie, different quote, but it made me think of when Doc Holliday tells Ike, he says, you know, maybe poker just ain't your game, Ike. I know. Let's have a spelling contest. That's what it made me think of. PlayStation Studios' big reveal brought 45% more players to Returnal, according to True Trophies. Players are rushing back for those Returnal trophies. Using a gameplay data sample from over 3.4 million active PSN accounts, courtesy of a partnership with Game Trends, we tracked the player count of every PS5 and PS4 game that ever released. The PS5 player count for Returnal has seen a decent 45% surge in the last week after the reveal of its follow-up. Housemarque Saros was announced with what began as a cryptic trailer that ends with a signature funnel of spinning glowing objects that harken back to the intense boss battles from their first effort. In the PlayStation Studios follow-up, we'll be okay, yeah, we're just going into the fluff stuff now. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Hopefully that means, you know, what we'll give some good content to people today. You know, give some good content to people today that are looking for it. I'm glad people are going back too. I was playing last night, Corey. I did the challenge, and then I got to Frike, and I was like, man, this game is just so good. And I thought I had the astronaut. I got confused. My first run, I had the astronaut, and I made a mistake. I went into a room, and it was a bunch of, when it's two green guys and the bats, you can sometimes get really overwhelmed. And I got overwhelmed, and I died. And I was like, okay, let me try again. And I got to Frike, and I was like, oh, I've almost got him. And I thought I had the astronaut, so I started playing reckless because I was like, I'm just going to beat him and go to bed. It was already late. It was like after midnight. So I thought I had the astronaut. I had the astronaut on my first run. I totally messed it up. So like I'm playing, I'm like, okay, I've got him, no big deal. And he kills me, and I'm like, no big deal. And I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, I thought I had the astronaut. What astronaut are you talking about? Oh, Sven. It's an item that you buy, and then you die and come back. You get a one-time do-over. You're only in Biome 3? I know. You can get this anywhere. You buy it from the little shop when you find the shop. Yeah, a little astronaut. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been able. Oh, you had that on the second boss? Oh, okay. You just forgot about it. I was going to say, I thought I remember you saying that you had it. Yeah. Yep. I believe Lono's hair sneaks back down and pods to its home planet while he sleeps. No, it only does that on the weekends. Yo, what's good? Feeds in the chat, guys. Come on. Let's have a feed Friday. We need 25 more likes. If you haven't hit like yet, hit like. Let's get to 400 likes. And listen. We only need 40 more members here. Let's get feed. I owe you guys 10. I'm going to save it for the Returnal gameplay. I'm going to do the members that I owe you guys in the Returnal gameplay. I currently owe you 10. I need a starting tutorial. I was trying it again the other night, and I was just confused. Stick around, Snoop. I'm going to do a stream and try and help people with that. The beginning of the stream is going to be a basics walkthrough of everything. And Dead, with 26 months, rounds us out nicely here to 560 members. Thank you so much, Dead. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me, that's right. Let's get Feed a member. I thought that was mandatory to get in Biome 1 during a certain story run. No, yeah, he's got it. I think he just forgot. He was like, astronaut. And I don't think he realized I was talking about the literal item. The astronaut shows up a lot in like the cutscenes and stuff, so he might have been thinking I was talking about something else. Looking at the feeds here, seeing if anything's going on. Guy says he's not going to review Avowed. I tried. Oh, he doesn't like it. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's uncommon. The first time you get the astronaut, it's a story moment. Every other time, you have to get it manually. Oh, I forgot about that, Corey. I always forget. It's been so long since I played the beginning of Returnal because I had to play through on Madam's account so that we could play co-op. Like, you have to get so far before you can do co-op. And the cool thing is about co-op, she inherits everything I've unlocked, right? Unfortunately, she doesn't get to save the checkpoint, which kind of ruins co-op for us. It's like, we could beat Biome 1 and then, like, the next night come back and do Biome 2. But, which I guess we could use the skips. And we could try and, like, move through Biome 1 and not fight the boss. I guess we could do that. I never thought about that. We could always just go beef up. It just is too long. It's too long of a game. I don't think we could ever... My wife and I could never beat Returnal for that reason. We just couldn't do it. There's no way. It takes too long. We don't have play sessions that could last that long. And then also, you know what I mean? Staros will probably get co-op. I don't know. I certainly hope so. They haven't spoken to it. Yeah, they haven't spoken to it. So. What's Dr. Disrespect doing? He took the media to stress we should have never been banned in the first place, insisting that the Doc character should be reinstated. Strangely, it wasn't that made the post, but Guy Beam. Oh, Beam wrote. Dr. Disrespect to Persona. He said, although things have been settled, Twitch should do the right thing and correct their mistake of permanently banning the Doc by reinstating the channel. We should have never been banned in the first place. Twitch should have been allowed a low-level... Should never have allowed a low-level employee to override the entire ban system, which had already been determined we didn't do anything wrong because of biased opinions of the Doc character. They could have reached out and had a quick 5-minute call and realized these mutual jokes and bantering never had serious intentions. Pathetic. Yeah, even with their new, like, you know, violations are gonna, And a 5-bomb from Wired Rope says, let's get Feed a membership. And he gets us to 65. We're now 10 away from the next milestone of 575. I just, even with their new policy about how, like, violations are going to fall off after so many years, like, we're trying to look into it. We're like, hey, you know, like, can we have a dialogue here? It's in July, it'll be 5 years. Like, really? Like, what are we doing here? You know, I'll gladly make a new channel if that's what you want me to do. Just talk to me. Can we talk? Like, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, I think in his situation, well, no, he didn't break the law. No, he didn't break the law because they would have been literally liable to hand everything over and report it, and then he would have been prosecuted. So no, that he didn't break the law. But given that he admitted what he admitted, it's like they just can't do it. They can't. They can never let that, like, just like, oh yeah, no big deal. You know what I mean? It's like, I know YouTube reinstated his monetization, and I told you that they would. I said they're just going to, if they didn't want him on the platform, they would get him off the platform. They would just get rid of him. You know what I mean? You can probably beat Returnal in one sitting, but it's not for the faint of heart. Oh, one sitting though, I mean, but if you take your time and get strong, one sitting is a long sitting. You know what I mean? They did report it to whatever crime division per law. No. When he broke it down, they pushed it up to the legal team at Twitch, and they determined that nothing needed to happen in that regard. Wired Rope. That it went up to that department, and then they didn't do anything with it. They said that nothing needed to happen. Because all he admitted to was talking to. Like, if he crossed any of those lines, they would have handed it all over. They didn't. Unless I've got the facts wrong, the way I understood it, the way he broke it down is, it went up to that department at Twitch, and that department determined that nothing needed to happen. I beat Returnal in one sitting my first time. It took my entire Saturday. Wow. The news on the next console was from Jez Corden saying that he has been told it's been pushed all the way up. It's been approved. It's out of the pitching stage. Can someone tell me when the GTA servers are back up? I don't know, Talents. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Google right now says he's never been charged with a crime. Unless I'm misremembering, when he did his whole breakdown of the situation, he said it went up to the department at Twitch. They looked at everything and said, there's no wrongdoing here. We're not going to do anything. Right? And so it basically got kicked to nothing. And then there was an employee that pushed it and said, no, he needs to be banned. I'll never condone what the man did, but like, we got to be careful with categorical lines here. There was no crime, and it never went to that level. It never went to the level of getting handed over to the police or anything like that. Their internal team assessed it. They would be in a significant amount of trouble if they were protecting that element of it. I mean, you talk about big trouble. That would have been very bad for them. If they were like, oh yeah, it's totally fine, and there was a crime committed, they would be in big trouble. Companies like this don't play around with that. They'll just immediately hand everything over if some guy's doing that. So, but because of what he admitted, I just don't think they'll ever let him back, because the public interpretation is the most extreme. You know, everybody's like, oh, he admitted to this way up here. And it's like, well, you can't have that PR. The headlines would be devastating. Like, I don't think Amazon would be okay with that. I don't think advertisers would be okay with that. It's like, there's just no way. Flash earlier said, content, they sent it to Protective Crime Division. I don't trust him. He's continued to say things that I've heard completely different versions. Yeah. It was not sent outside of Twitch is what I'm saying to you. It went up to that division and that team, that legal team within Twitch, and they said, we don't need to do anything with this. Doc said it was like that from that group also. Oh, so Doc said it went out of Twitch? I must be misremembering. I thought for sure he said it never left Twitch. Like, it went to the team that makes that determination, and they were like, no, there's nothing to do here. And a 10 bomb from Rissick gets us to 575. Come on, we're trying to get feed. Well, then that drives home even more. People forget that you need the victim to be willing to continue forward, and most don't want to. Listen, I'm not a lawyer, Eugene, but the state couldn't the state go forward without, if the state had hard evidence, let's say a guy did it. Let's just say the guy's name is Hank, and Hank actually used whispers and was doing bad stuff. Okay, he broke the law. Can't the state just prosecute without the victim? You just take the evidence and say, yeah, this, because it's a username, it's a chat name. You don't need that person to like walk in and testify. Can't you just use the evidence at hand and the state can prosecute? Thank you, Rissick, for another one, and takes us to 576. They don't need the victim to prosecute. The state needs the victim. Yeah, we're getting conflicting info here. That seems insane to me, that somebody could do something like that and you have hard evidence and the state's like, yeah, we can't prosecute unless the victim's willing to be a part of this. Good luck getting a conviction without the victim. Victim of what? What we're saying, Paul, is I'm imagining we're creating a hypothetical. If a guy actually did break the law and did that, solicited that, sent pictures, whatever, isn't that grounds to just prosecute him? You don't need the victim to be a part of anything. Don't they literally do that with the how to catch guy? Don't they literally prosecute guys and throw them in jail, and it's all fake? Mick D09 with a gifted member. Thank you so much. I guess it's a 577. How the frick do you do that when it's not, in that case, it's not even real? It's somebody playing. How does that even work? Like, you got a guy chatting and pretending to be, and then they get the guy. I think if they witness, is that, but again, you don't have a victim in those circumstances. You literally don't have a victim in those circumstances when they do those shows. Is that all smoke and mirrors? Do those guys not even really get in trouble? Is it just public embarrassment and shame? I'm out of my depth here. I thought in those cases, those guys got in trouble, they got prosecuted, and there's not even a real person. It's all fake. In those cases, you just have to believe the victim was real. Catch a predator as a witness. What? Okay, but hang on though. Why do you need a witness when you have chat logs? I'm confused. If you had chat logs and this person says they're this age and this person attempts to do bad things in the messages, why do you need a witness? You got the chat logs right there. Attempt law is a little odd at times. From what I remember, it's different than the actual crime. I guess the problem with chat logs being evidence is you could claim it wasn't me. I wasn't the one chatting. I don't know how far that goes. Like, you could be like, that wasn't me. Somebody grabbed my phone, blah, blah, blah. You would need a witness saying, oh, I saw him typing it, I guess. Maybe that's what you're saying is you have witnesses and cameras and you get the guy to come and admit and it's all on film. That's different than a chat log maybe because you literally can't prove he's the one that sent the messages. I don't know. You need someone to verify the logs and to verify who was on the other end. Okay. I'm just going to say it's pretty likely that he didn't break any laws because I don't think he would be out here drawing attention to it. Right? Like, I don't think he'd be out here drawing attention to it. Because the last thing you want is it to get pushed legally and it to be made public record if he did indeed. You see what I'm saying? To me, it feels like he to me is posturing the posture of a man who did something wrong but is not guilty of a crime, because it's like you would never take that risk. I just don't feel like he'd be out here hammering away at this and continuing to bring it up if he was actually guilty of a crime. Like, he is guilty of doing something wrong, but he's not guilty of committing a crime. Like, I don't know if you would take that risk. I feel like you just duck and cover and be like, well, you know, I'm just going to keep on keeping on YouTube and Rumble. Again, think about it. Like, the money he's making, the contract he signed with Rumble, it's like, to me, he seems motivated in a similar way. I can connect mentally. Like, I remember when Johnny Depp said, like, he was obsessed with the truth. I can connect with that. I know what that's like. It's like, it's not about the money. It's not. It's like, it's about sending a message, to quote the Joker. It's like, to me, and I know nobody cares, and it wouldn't matter, and it wouldn't make a difference. And it's like, it would make a difference to me. It would make a difference to me. Like, I just don't know if someone actually crossed that line, committed that crime, would be out here banging away on the topic still. I just don't think so. I really, really don't. My read of it is very, very wrong decision. Lapse, you know, shouldn't have done it. Lapse in judgment, whatever you want to say, blah, blah, blah. Not a crime. That's why he's like, come on. What are we doing here? Like, let me come back on the platform. Like look at my situation. It's like 5 years ago, a handful of tweets. That's all it takes. Like, that's all it takes. No evidence, nothing. Is that an upgrade, Heavy Metal Mama? You see what I'm saying? It's like I can't even get a conversation. You're talking about letting somebody like Aiden Ross back on the platform, like, and you won't even talk to me? Like, what's going on here? Like, I get the frustration. I do. I totally imagine the frustration of like, what are we doing here? Like, you know, and I'm not even saying that they're the same. They're not the same. Ooh, 579. 2 people must have done it. We are at 579. Heavy Metal Mama just upgraded. I'm bumping us to 579. And 5 Bomb comes in from Detonator and gets us to 584. You have to go to a computer to upgrade. Thank you so much. We are super close. Okay, so 584. So 579. I need to update. We are the closest we have ever been to that member record of we want 600 people at Member Plus and above. We are at 579. We basically need 20 people to upgrade. That's the closest we've ever been. So they're completely different scenarios, and what he did was, I think, far more over the line and far more wrong. Like, I'm not trying to throw stones in a glass house here. I definitely think categorically completely different scenarios, right? Making jokes at parties with mutual friends and then nobody ever saying they have a problem with the joke. That's not the same as having a conversation with a minor. They're not even in the same category. I'm nothing like that situation. But I empathize with and I completely understand being like, at what point can we just kind of move on? Like, at what point can we say, can we just move past this? Like, just, or at the very least in my situation, like, can you just talk to me? Like, can we just dialogue? Like, I'm willing to come back and start all the way over with a brand new channel, or give me back that one. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm willing to re-earn partnership, all that. It's like, it was 5 years ago and I didn't even do any of the stuff that they said I did, and a lot of the claims disappeared. The tweets have disappeared. You just make claims and create stories and can just delete them? Like, what? Like, you see what I'm saying? Thank you, Detonator, for another single gifted member, and bumps the line to 585. And again, we are set up here. We're fine. Like, the YouTube channel's doing well. We have amazing support. You guys are incredible. And my hope would be over the next 5 years, we've kind of gotten back to ground zero. Over the next 5 years, I would be able to, you know, get beyond where I was on Twitch. But to me, I just think that there's a message that could be sent there of like, we've moved past this. We looked into it. An indefinite permanent suspension over claims made on Twitter. Like, what are we doing here? Nothing was proven. Nothing was investigated. No evidence supplied. Well, there was evidence supplied, but it was fabricated. Like, the timestamps were fake. You know, the messages were you only showed half the messages. So it's like, even the evidence was fake. Even the evidence wasn't good. It's like, what are we doing here? That's the thing. I get that mentality. I do. I can connect with it and understand why somebody would be like, come on. You know. For the, at what point can we just move on sentence, make sure you give context now to what you're referring to, Switch specifically, not moving on from the claims themselves. Thank you so much for the 5 spot from Detonator. I'm not sure what you mean, Jordan. Detonator's trying to set it up. He's trying to set up a detonator. He's like, somebody hit the 10 bomb to 600. Thank you, Detonator. Look at this a-hole demanding his evidence be real. I'm not sure what you mean, Jordan. Like, move past. Like, I falsified the claims. I proved the claims false. Like, I mean, you just... And Brandon's going to take it home with a 10 bomb to 600. You guys are incredible. Pirate Yakuza doubleheader tomorrow night. We'll play some Kingdom Come Deliverance with Madam as well as Pirate Yakuza. You guys are incredible. You deserve a chance to move on. He doesn't. I think I'm being fair here in that I don't think Twitch would ever let him back. Given what he admitted, I don't think that you can. I don't think you can. I think when someone makes that choice, it's like, no. That's a line you just don't cross, dude. And in my instance, it was like, it was literally just a bunch of claims. Like, what wasn't, And the claims themselves were so benign. He said something to me 3 years ago. He said something to me at a party 3 years ago. No details, no evidence supplied. We're talking about moving past the original Twitch ban and starting over monetarily. However, from the point I specified onward, it's hella easy to clip that out of context. I mean, even if all of those claims were 100% true, don't you think I would be, let's just say you believe everything that was said about me. Don't you think I deserve at a point in life to just move on with my life? To get like a reset button pressed? Like there were no even egregious claims made about me. It's like, so for the rest of my life, that's it. Like, you see what I'm saying? I think even if you believe all of those things, I would hope that you would think at a certain point, a man's got to be able to move on. You know, and again, unless you're guilty of a crime and you have to go to prison, like the claims were so benign. Like, he made a remark 3 years ago at a party one time. That's it? That's your story? That's your claim? Huh? Make it seem like, Reforge was saying that people should move on. Oh, no, I'm not saying that. No. Like, I'm on record as just saying I don't think they could ever let him back. I think what he did was wrong. And I don't think you can come back to a platform after that. You use the platform to do that. Like, YouTube had to revamp their entire website because of that. Like, protecting kids. Like, that's a serious offense. That's a very serious offense. It's that you can't play like flimsy with that. You can't. Yeah, I'm referring to myself. Moving on. Can we just move on? And in my case, I just would like to have a conversation. That's all I would like. Like, can we just have a conversation? That's it. I want to have a conversation. That's all. Just a phone call. That's it. You know. Just like, can you just level with me here? Can I just level with you? Like, what are we doing here? I still to this day I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Nobody will talk to me. Oh, I get what you're saying, Jordan. You're just being careful to like clarify that I was talking about myself and not him. That's right. Yeah. I get what you're saying, Jordan. Tomorrow will be 1 year being subbed. Such a great investment. Glad I did. Thank you, Cobra. I appreciate that. I do. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I don't have any more stretch goals. I owe you guys... I don't even know what I owe you, because I did the 50 bomb as like a flex. I don't know where I am. So I think I'm going to do a 10 when we get to the new stream, I think. I think that would be fair, because that puts me at 60. They bring this guy and this guy after they get banned all the time. They're also connected with Drake in the industry. It's not what you know, but who you know. I know, and that's the thing. You know? You owe 50? I did a 50 bomb already earlier. Full runner, bus, and returnal. Yeah, let me get the returnal stream scheduled. You owe 50 plus 20? I did the 50. What do you mean? And a 5 bomb from Dodevas does an Agent of Chaos. I guess we could do the pirate patch. I don't even know. If you guys want to, I'll do it, but we don't have to fight for it. You guys can keep going. I know you guys like to do that. Y'all like to flex making that number go up. Dodevas, greatly appreciate your consistent generosity to this channel. Very, very much. Just kicking in because I care. I appreciate that. If you got unbanned, would you ever stream back over there? It would be so epic I would cry. Oh, I'd probably bawl like a baby. It would just be such again, there's a message being sent by that. It's not even about the money. It's just the message sent would be powerful. We would probably look into just multi-streaming or doing a show or two a week over there and, you know, get back to monetized, let people use their primes, you know. We could really have some fun with Madam's Destiny playthrough. Let's see here. Let's set this for 2. Get my old badge back. We're considering a couple of things because, like, if we can't get answers, you know, privately, there's always the opportunity to go public. We have some, you know, we have some decent pull now. We have allies. We have people that would signal boost and be like, hey, you know, talk to this guy. What the frick are y'all doing? You know what I mean? We could mobilize, but we just don't know if that's the right call. I'm trying to handle this professionally and on the up and up. Like, you know, I'm trying to use the channels of communication that are available to say, I would like to discuss this. Like, can we open up a dialogue? What would it take? You know, you got to make sure you get your member goal, you know. I appreciate that, Risic, with the $5 super chat. Thank you. Okay, let me do this. Okay. Okay. Wait, I already have that. Oh, yeah. Okay. You never got your raid carry? Well, that's probably never gonna happen. I don't think Bungie's ever going to walk that one back. But this guy says, I came from this video where he bagged on you for making valid points and also taking your jokes far too serious. Good video, and I can completely see where the concerns come from. I appreciate the free advertisement. Would they really hurt you down and ban your account if you just started randomly play again? We should totally submit a Bungie appeal. The last time I submitted a Bungie appeal, they kicked it back and said they couldn't touch it. Like, that came down from on high. Like, the security team, they used to just close the tickets when I would try to do it. And the last time I tried it, the security team was like, we can't even touch this. Basically, like, yeah. Like, this came from C-suite or something. It came from up high. Watch your wife play it more. We did that on Friday nights and people were really enjoying it, but like, it just got repetitive. It was like, there was just so much for her to do. Like, laughing and getting frustrated and watching her play a mission every now and again was funny, but it just got old. I felt like it just kind of got old. What are you gonna do? Ban you from the appeals page? Do it? Yeah, we can do that later. It would be wild if the 5-year anniversary, you know, we got both things back. That'd be kind of wild. I really am interested. I mean, I'll be totally honest. Like, out here in view of the public, like, if Twitch is gonna say violations fall off after 2 years, it's like, even if you believe that I did these things, it's been 5 years. Like flirting with somebody or joking with somebody and they didn't want me to, like, that's warranted utter destruction? Like, is that what we're saying? Like, the dust settled, you know. A lot of the claims about, like, stolen badges and sneaking into areas and all that disappeared because it was all fake. It was all lies. It's like, when you really whittle it down, like, a handful of people felt like I said something I should not have. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? What are we doing? What are we doing here? No. It's not worth suing. I would just, like I said, I would just rather have a conversation. You know? Madam in Destiny was entertaining and only got old to you, which I totally get. Listen, we can make that incentive. If you guys want us to go back into Destiny, I know you guys loved it. The viewership made it obvious. The viewership on those streams was crazy good. People really, really liked watching Madam play Destiny. I have no problem making that making that an incentive week to week. Because I think Kingdom Come Deliverance, I think we're going to hit a wall and the entertainment value is going to go down. Like, it's just going to start to get really, really difficult. And, you know, it's just the entertainment value is going to tank. It's going to really lose its luster. Excuse me. It's really going to lose its luster. Hang on. Why do we always have this problem with these stupid capture cards? I always have to unplug them and plug them back in. Get mad I'm playing Metal Gear. Resolution not supported. What if I just go device default? Yeah, see, the color's always wrong. I have to turn off I have to turn off HDR. HDR really screws with the colors through the cap card. All right, I'm going to set it to 1440. And then I'm going to turn off 120. And I'm going to turn HDR off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the capture card. And I'm going to say custom 1440/60. And then we're just going to do. Okay. Yeah, like HDR messes with the color. Like right now, it's especially noticeable on like bright yellows, like that bright yellow and green on the Helldiver's icon. I'm telling you, when HDR is on, that won't look right. Yeah, my wife and I have been playing this, Big Helmet Heroes. It's really fun. It's very mindless, but it's fun. It's very mindless, but it's fun. Okay, so we're going to be jumping into Returnal. Guys, thank you for 400 likes. Thank you so much for... Here, I can't really have that on the screen when I'm playing. We'll have the goal on the screen. Right now, the stretch goal is make me wear a freaking pirate patch. Which, we do not have to hit that. That's fine. We've had an absolute blast today. I'm going to run upstairs really quickly before we start this because I don't want to start the new stream and then have to use the restroom. So, I'm going to hit some ads. Thank you guys so much for a huge day. We're going to keep going. This is going to be a new stream, so help me out. Stick around. Especially with everybody that's here right now, it's a very good turnout. If this many people stick with me through gameplay, you could really help this stream do well. I love Returnal, and I would love for people to find the stream and be helped by it, okay? I'll be right back. Woo. All right. Let's get it. Chair height? Chair height. Okay. Let me see here. Excuse me. I've been skipping lunch, and I thought that might have been a bad idea to play Returnal hungry. So, grab like a quick snack. Cat die? Yeah. Granola bar? No. I bought like a Planters mixed. It's like almonds, pistachios. Take my watch off as well. All right. Let me tweet that. Blue sky as well. I'm gonna hit the Discord. Oops. Not what I meant to do. Right. Okay. Do a little spin test here. Okay. I can never get rid of those minor hitches. Make sure we have good sound. Okay. I'm gonna get myself up here a little bit out of the way like that. And then we're gonna drag the member goal up into here. Oops. Nah, I tell you what, let's just put it down in the corner. Down there. There we go. Okay. Does that have pro enhancements? No, they have not done pro enhancements yet. I do feel like it runs, I want to say faster, smoother. I don't know. You also should not get a lot of like compression when I move fastly and do stuff like this because we stream now in AV1. So we should be very, very smooth on capture, very little compression, if any at all. It should look very crisp and very clean. Okay. I'm going to spam a link in chat. And remember, the redirect sometimes doesn't work. So if you want to go to the new stream, click the link in chat and do me a huge favor. Let's go to this new stream and go nuts. I think I'm going to drop like a 20 bomb on chat and then hit those likes as soon as we get over there, okay? Thank you so much for checking out this video. As an enormous fan of Returnal, I wanted to do a stream of Returnal gameplay in 2025. And I want this to serve as a little bit of a Returnal beginner's guide. I know with the Saros announcement, there's a huge surge of people like going back to Returnal or checking it out. Maybe you stopped because Biome 3 needed balance and a lot of people got killed there. I did as well, and I've done multiple complete run-throughs of this. I've done a lot of Tower of Sisyphus, and I love this game. It's one of my all-time favorite games. So I'm going to try and help you see how there is progression in this game even after you die. I'm going to end the previous stream and redirect folks over. We were doing a talk show this morning, and I'm going to change that thumbnail.